statements, and then...
Do you have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
I have a police report of the incident that happened at the bar, and also of a phone harassment complaint. After we left the bar, she called and left him 4 voicemails on his pager. We called the officer and had him come back over to my house to listen to the voicemail.
Okay. All right, Miss Alvarado, now let me have your version of the events.
Okay. My friend and my witness, Tanya, was with me. I was upstairs shooting pool, having a good time with my friends, and I was just done with my beer, and Tanya said, can you go down and get some more beer? And I was like, sure. I also have to go to the bathroom. I go downstairs, and I see Ryan off, not in the bar, he was off on the concession stand, standing there, and he turns to me and says, oh, hey, Cecilia, what's up? I never approached him, Your Honor. Okay.
Tell me what happened. Not what you didn't do, what you did do.
Okay. And so then he says, I just want to warn you that Diane is here, and she's wants to kick your. And
Can I just
I then said, you know, I'm so tired of this, of her approaching me. I'm 33 years old. I have, you know, a good job, and I was harassed at work by her, and Ryan used to call me also at work. He would tell me to call him. Here's my pager, Cecilia. Here's my cell number. Call me. And no, and it's true.
Just talk to me, not to her.
Okay, well, anyway, and you know, I'm really upset about this because I have a good job, and I have the sheriff come.
I heard that you have a good job.
Okay.
You're 33 years old. He's
Right.
20.
No, Your Honor, he told me.
Just a second. But you're 33. He's 20.
Your Honor, I was led to believe that he was 22.
22. Okay.
What does, I mean, what does the age matter? I was stuck in a
Let's
situation.
go what happened to 822.
Okay, well, as I turned around, there's Diane right in my face. And she just says, what the, excuse my language, but she was like, what the, whatever. And I'm like, you know, I don't want any problems with you. I had my beer bottle. I had just a little bit of beer in it. I had it in my hand. And I have a scar, permanent scar on my arm where she grabbed me, pulled me forward, and goes to hit me with the beer bottle over my head. And in the police report, it doesn't even state that I had also blood and a welt on my head.
It doesn't say that, madam.
Exactly.
No, listen to me. It doesn't say that. If the police who took this report were very clear, Miss Alvarado, they observed, according to them, a large welt on your hand.
Exactly.
If you had had blood in your scalp and a large welt in your scalp that you pointed out to them, they would have...
I did.
Why don't you let me finish?
Okay, I'm sorry, but...
They would have included that in the police report.
Judge Judy is suing 33-year-old human resource manager Cecilia Alvarado for knocking out her teeth with a beer bottle.
So let's continue.
I stepped back, and it was just self-defense. After I had my hand like this, and her beer bottle hit my hand, I was trying to protect myself. And from just a reaction of, you know, someone attacking you, what are you supposed to do? And I was scared. I just closed my eyes and went like that. I didn't even realize I had hit her that hard, Your Honor. I would never have struck her. I felt bad after the incident. I was crying. Yes, I was hysterical because I was having a good time on a Monday night with my friends. She approached me, Your Honor. This isn't the first time she's, you know, antagonized me. Okay, and those harassment calls, they've harassed me, and they even threatened me as I was leaving, and my witness was with me in the car, and I was holding onto my head because I was crying, shaking. Diane, Ryan, and their friend Jimmy were threatening me, saying, watch your back, look out for yourself.
Were you a witness to the event, a witness to the actual event?
Yes, I was.
Step up. Tell me your name.
My name's Tanya.
Tell me what you observed on the evening of the 22nd of August.
Well, I told Cecilia, you know, for her to go ahead and get some beers because she was going downstairs. So then I went downstairs after she did, and then I'm like,
what?
To go see where she was. She was speaking with Diane, when all of a sudden I just see Diane's arm just strike right down, right on her head, and then I saw her hit her, and I didn't know if it was with a beer bottle or not. I just saw her strike her, and then after that, I just ran towards her, and then, you know, the bouncers and everybody was trying to tear them apart, and then that was it.
You went down to get more beers, right?
I went to go to the restroom also.
Okay, but you already had a beer in your hand. You told me you had a beer in your hand.
It was
empty.
It was almost empty.
Why don't you let me finish my...
I'm sorry.
Say,
Okay.
you already said that you had a beer and that there was some left in it. Is that correct?
There was some left in it, yes.
Right. What time did you arrive at this bowling alley / pool hall?
We went to eat there first. It was around 7-ish, because we were there eating, and then we went upstairs to shoot pool.
When you were eating, did you have anything of an alcoholic nature to drink?
I had, well, we had a pitcher. That was it. And that
what?
was a pitcher of
A beer?
Yeah,
While you were having dinner?
with food, right,
While you were having dinner. And then you went upstairs to shoot pool.
right.
And how much did you have to drink when you went upstairs?
It was probably about 1 beer.
Maybe two?
No, it was just about 1 beer because we were going downstairs to get more.
All right, now let's get back to you, Miss Bro.
Okay. First of all, she said that Ryan has a cell phone. He's never had a cell phone since we've been together. The concession stand is in the bowling alley, and she says she approached me at the concession stand.
Well, you have a couple of things to explain to me, madam.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. You confronted her, and I'm not excusing if what you allege happened the way you alleged it to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm not excusing that. But you confronted her twice. Not once, but twice. You sought her out. Initially, you told me you went up to her, got in her face, told her to leave you all alone, and then you followed her again.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You followed her again because you saw her talking to somebody at a table where you were going to be seated. According to you, this was somebody that you had had bad interaction with before. So both of those things weren't too smart. I will also tell you that the police officer, I'm going to get to her in a second, the police officer observed a fresh bruise on her hand. How do you think she got that? A large welt. How do you think she got that?
Maybe from pushing me, or, you know, when she fell back, or, you know, I pushed her back. Maybe her hand hit the table when she fell back.
Yeah.
I don't know how she got a welt on her hand, but I didn't even have a beer. That's why Ryan was at the bar.
Just a second. So clearly there was a physical altercation between the two of you before anything happened with bottles, according to you. Is that right?
When we were at the table.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So there was a physical altercation. That must have been a pretty hard shove.
She hit me first. Was I not supposed to defend myself?
Where did she hit you first?
She pushed me in my chest, and I
That's a
pushed her
push.
back.
No, okay, that's a
And-
push.
Okay.
That's not a hit.
Well,
How did she get the welt on her hand?
I'm really not sure how she got the welt on her hand.
You certainly confronted her on both occasions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not smart. Now, my next question to you, Miss Alvarado, is this incident is over and you're hysterical. You're all upset, right?
Right.
So what's the first thing that you do? You go to your phone and you call him.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, you
No,
did.
I didn't, ma'am.
Oh, well, according to the police, you did.
They threatened me as I was leaving, and
They may have threatened you.
they...
The police say that they listened to the message over the phone
Okay.
and heard you say, Ryan, this is Cece. Remember that?
Yeah, I guess.
Why don't you tell her what we did a month ago? Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, after you're so upset and distraught, why do you continue with this by picking up the phone and calling him?
Because I had... Your Honor, this has been going on for like 2 months. He is...
When did you find out he was 20 years old?
Ma'am...
When did you find out he was 20 years old?
Today.
So before today, you thought he was 22?
That is what he told me.
Okay, so before today, you thought he was 22. And he's got a 20-year-old girlfriend.
Well,
And
I
you're
thought-
33 years
I
old.
thought she was
Shh,
23.
Pay attention. So now you know. You know that he's a baby and you're not. So this terrible thing happened at the bar. Why are you continuing it by calling him on the phone?
I didn't continue calling him on the phone after this incident.
4 times.
Are you telling me that this phone call the
But I
police...
was-
Shh. Are you telling me the police are making up this phone
No,
call
I'm
that they
not.
heard?
I'm not.
So you did call him.
But they called me at work also to harass me, and I have
I'm not
proof
talking
of
about
that.
at work. I'm talking about immediately after this incident on the 22nd. You got home and you called him.
I called him, but I didn't call him 4 times.
I didn't say 4 times. Did I say
Okay,
4
well,
times? They said 4
that's
times. I
what
said
I'm
once.
thinking.
Pay careful attention.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She knew I was 20.
She thought you were 22. To me, there's
Okay.
no difference. You're a baby when you're 20 if you're a boy. You're a baby when you're 22 if you're a boy. And sometimes when you're 52 if you're a boy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diane Bro says her front teeth were knocked out during a fight with Cecilia Alvarado. The women say the fight was over a man.
Why did you call him one time when you got home?
Because I was angry. I was really upset about this whole situation.
Well, right now, you're in a situation where you caused her substantially more injury than she caused you.
And I was sorry.
You are at the police, so you didn't call up and say, I'm sorry. You called up and said, hey, why don't you tell her what we did a month ago and all the other stuff?
Because, Your Honor, I was upset about it because if it wasn't for him leading me on and telling me that their relationship was nothing, then I wouldn't have gone after him. I wouldn't have talked to him.
Let me see the dental reports.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
I've met Cecilia before, like probably a month before Diane became my girlfriend. And, you know, the whole time, you know, she knew I was 20. All my friends know I'm 20.
Don't tell me what she knows.
Okay.
Did you?
And
She thought you were 22. To me, there's no difference. You're a baby when you're 20 if you're a boy. You're a baby when you're 22 if you're a boy. And sometimes when you're 52
She called me
if you're a boy.
nonstop. She called me at my place of employment. They told me at work that if she continues on calling, they're going to write me up because she called me nonstop.
She's a little fanatic.
Yeah, and she called my house nonstop, paged me nonstop.
Ryan, pay careful attention. Okay. She may be a little bit of a nut.
Yes.
We all are.
And I don't know, and I'm not interested in knowing what happened a month before.
Okay.
You know, and she knows. Maybe your girlfriend doesn't know, but you know, and she knows. She should have been smart enough when she figured out how old you were and that you're a baby to back off and find somebody that's more age appropriate, because there is no difference between 20 and 22. You got to find somebody who's 35, because this is not an appropriate match for you. A 20-year-old doesn't lead on a 33-year-old if they have any brains.
And me and Diane have also told her, you know, together that we don't want nothing to do with her if she's going to continue on like this. You know, me and Diane sat there and told her to leave us alone.
Try Diane and I.
Okay, Diane and I.
I just had to do that. Just,
sorry.
You understand?
Your Honor.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
You're supposed to be a mature adult. You're 33 years old.
Your Honor, she hit me over the head. What was I supposed to do?
I don't believe she, listen to me. I don't believe she hit you over the head.
Yes, she...
No, listen to me. I believe she pushed you. I believe you pushed her. I believe you shoved her. I believe all of those things, but I do not believe that she hit you over the head with a beer bottle and that you had blood in a bump, because if you did, the police would have memorialized that in a very, I'm speaking, don't look pained to me, in a very detailed police report. I believe that. Now, I don't believe that you are blameless. I believe that you were involved with this incident and that you should not have confronted her. Your actual out-of-pocket expenses are $41.82.
I did miss 4 days of work.
Listen to me.
Okay.
You have to find that you are somewhat responsible for what happened. Because if you had stayed away from her, it wouldn't have happened. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a big boy. If he wants to tell her to stay out of his life, he can do that. If he wanted to be stupid enough a month ago to do whatever he did a month ago that he hasn't shared with you, right? That's something that he's going to have to deal with if he acted like a fool. But you didn't have to go to her twice, especially since she had had a lot to drink that night. She got there at 7 o'clock. They had a couple of pitchers of beer, not just one.
No,
they drank. I'm speaking. I'm not stupid. I've lived a long time. I've lived longer than 33 years. Okay? You got there at 7, and this was 12 o'clock at night. You already had one beer bottle in your hand, right? You were down to get another one, and I assure you that that was not the first one that you consumed while you were upstairs playing pool. And you also consumed beer while you were having dinner, according to you, one pitcher. In any event, you're going to pay for her dental work. She's going to pay for her pain and suffering and for her missed work. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,182. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. 5-year-old retired dental technician Leroy Gaines is suing his son and daughter-in-law, John and Cassandra Gaines. Leroy claims after opening 4 CDs on behalf of his grandchildren, John and Cassandra emptied the accounts.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 218 on the calendar in the matter of Gaines. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Gaines, the defendant is your son.
Yes.
And the co-defendant is your daughter-in-law.
Right.
And they have 4 children.
Yes, they do.
Your 4 grandchildren.
Right.
According to your complaint, sir, in 1999, because you're a good grandpa, you decided to gift each of your grandchildren $500 and took out certificates of deposit in each of their names for their future.
Right.
And you had a conversation with your daughter-in-law about that?
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell your daughter-in-law?
I told my daughter-in-law that I was going to take out 4 CDs for each one of the grandchildren, and that I wanted to left in the bank, and when each one of them was 18 years old, they could do as they pleased with the money. And I told her that I was going to turn the CDs over to her so that she could reinvest them once every year when they matured. I never gave any permission.
Okay, just a second. So that's what you told her?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you originally opened these CDs, you were the custodian, sir?
Yes, I was.
There came a time when you changed that, from you being the custodian to you being a co-custodian?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
did you
I
make...
did not turn custodianship over to anybody.
Do you have the paperwork from the bank?
I have 2. The other 2, I guess I throw them away.
Okay, but let me see what you have. Your lawsuit, Mr. Gaines, against the defendants, in particular your daughter-in-law, is that she withdrew the CDs for 3 of the children,
Yes.
and the 2 of them used that money,
Yes,
and you want that money back.
I do.
They have a counterclaim because they say that at some point, I assume after they withdrew the 3 of the CDs, you went and withdrew the money out of the one remaining one that they had not used. So their counterclaim is based on the fact that as parents of that one child, you took back that child's gift. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you do not deny that you took out the CDs for 3 of your children.
Not at all.
I'd like to see where you are custodians of the accounts of those 3 children.
Okay, when I went to the bank to sign a signature card, I didn't receive anything in the mail. The manager of the bank said that I had to subpoena the record. She was not cooperative at all.
Okay. So you don't have any proof that you were made the co-custodian, even though, Mr. Gaines, you say that you agreed for her to be the co-custodian.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, at various points, you went to the bank and withdrew this money. Did you withdraw it all at the same time or at different times?
At different times, Your
Over
Honor.
what period of time?
Over a period of approximately 3 weeks.
All right, let's hear about the first withdrawal.
The first withdrawal, Your Honor, was on May 18th.
And what did you use that money for?
Your Honor, my husband owns his own business. He's self-employed. I am a full-time mother. His business gets slow at times. He's a carpenter. And in the month of May, we fell on hard times and had a car payment due in the amount of $307.10. I need a vehicle for emergencies to drive my children around in. The remainder of the money went. Every Saturday is considered a family day for us. And we
By
take
who? Is that by federal law?
No, that's by our own morals.
So that's by your own morals that every
Right.
Saturday is family day. Okay,
Correct.
so tell me where the rest of the money went.
It went on an amusement park for our children the
Okay.
following Saturday.
Okay, so that's one. Let's
Correct.
go to the next withdrawal that you made.
That was the following week, May 26th, which was on a Friday. Now, in order for my husband to run his business, he has to advertise, and he had run up a bill for his advertisement for his job amounting over $200.
So?
That went on that. And then the remainder went on Chuck E. Cheese for our children and horse rides at Irvine Regional Park.
Okay, next.
The third and final CD was cashed in on June 5th.
Yes.
Now, our rent was due June 1st. However, there's a 5-day grace period. You have until the 5th. Otherwise, it's considered late. You have to pay a $50 late charge. The rent amounts $910. I had to cash in a CD to pay the rent.
Okay. Mr. Gaines, how long have you been a carpenter?
About 13 years.
So for the past 13 years, what have you done when business is slow?
Well, usually a couple months before we try and save up so that we can prepare for the times where it's going to be slow so that we
That's
have some savings.
Good. Now, you were both fully aware of the fact that this money was to be used for your children.
Yes.
that this was, in fact, your children's money.
Yes.
So how dare you use this money to buy them Chuck E. Cheese, take them to an amusement park, make your car payment, or pay your rent? How dare you? You managed for 13 years not to steal your children's money. Maybe they didn't have any money.
May I say something now?
Sure.
In that amount of time, we have had help from family members. Mr. Gaines's wife is retired and lives with my husband's sister. She has a pension, and she helps us out when need be, out of the goodness of her heart.
Why don't you help yourselves out? Get a job. Get a job. You have 4 children and you can't make it on your husband's salary as a carpenter. Get a job. You don't steal money from your children.
No, I have every intention on paying my children back. I feel that I do not owe the plaintiff any money. I owe
yes,
my
you
children.
do. He's the custodian of the...
He gave these to them as a gift.
Just a second. Oh, you're absolutely right. He gave this money to your children as a gift for their future. That was made clear to you. Clear to you. And the custodian of those accounts is responsible to see to it that that money is used exclusively for the benefit of the children.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Gaines says his son John Gaines and daughter-in-law Cassandra stole money he had gifted to his grandchildren.
If you want to invade that money because of an emergency, then you have to go to surrogate's court and say, I must, let's say it's not $500, let's say it's $500,000. And the child has a medical emergency, and you have no funds to cover the medical emergency. In all probability, a judge would say you may invade the children's money to pay for that emergency. Chuck E. Cheese and pony rides do not constitute an emergency. You are responsible for the Chuck E. Cheese in your children's lives. Your children are not responsible to feed themselves. You are. Your children are not responsible to house themselves. You are. And your children are not responsible for their own amusement. If you wish to amuse yourself on Saturdays, then you pay for the amusement. Otherwise, you don't take $200 to go to an amusement park out of money that's supposed to be for your children's future. That's outrageous.
Okay, so we owe the money to our kids, not to him.
Oh, yes, you do. He's the custodian.
May I also say...
Can I show you this?
He's the custodian.
No, he turned over everything to us.
Oh,
okay?
let me see it.
Otherwise, how would she have been able to withdraw the money?
Let me see. Let me see. This is a will.
Your Honor,
what are you showing me?
Let me say something.
This is a will when he dies.
Right, Your Honor, but he has been preparing for this a long time. And he told us that's why he made me custodian of these accounts.
Show me. Hey,
they told me I needed to subpoena the records, Your Honor.
Pay careful attention to me. What I have here is the plaintiff as custodian. What I have in your answer is that you were co-custodian.
Correct.
He's a custodian, you're a custodian, right? He's going to take the money that you stole from your children, and I assume you will put it back in a CD in your name as sole custodian.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you intend to do?
That's exactly what I want to do.
Okay. So you have no objection to my taking the names of the 3 children whose accounts they closed?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their names?
Alexandria, Audrey, and Alisa.
He's saying the oldest daughter's name wrong, and it's spelled wrong also.
Alexandria.
No I.
There's no I. It's Alexandra.
Alexandra. Oh, so you think he should be penalized for that? You got some attitude for somebody who took their kids' money for Chuck E. Cheese.
I never even met him until I was 12 years old.
Listen to me.
Where was he?
I don't
He
care.
has 9 kids.
Mr.
Take care of
Gaines,
any of them.
Mr. Gaines, you and your wife have a problem.
Yeah, we do. He's right here.
No. I want to tell you something. If you think that he's your problem, then what you should have said to him was, when he said, I'm going to open these accounts for the children, do me a favor. I don't want you to open any accounts for the children. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
And we did it until he became sober in 1998.
Hey, just a second. So if he became sober, according to you, in 1998, and in 1999, when he put his life together again, he wanted to start to do the right thing, make amends for some of the transgressions that he's had in his life,
He could never do that.
Hey, you stole money from your children. You're outrageous.
He never paid a dime of child support.
You stole money from your children.
And we'll give it back to him.
You stole money from your children.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, we didn't.
You said to yourself, I got $2,000 that I can play around with, and I don't have to sweat.
It wasn't 2,000, Your Honor.
Just a minute. You had, hey, Missy Attitude, you had $2,000, $500 for each of your children. The only reason that you're annoyed is that he got to the other $500 before you did. You had $2,000. That's what you had to start
I'm
with.
annoyed because he's family and he's bringing us to court. And I had a phone conversation with him on the phone, and he did nothing but disrespect me and degrade me and call me foul names.
You had a nerve taking this money from your children. You don't seem to get it.
Well, then what does
You
he
don't-
have to do with it? We took the money from our kids. It was a gift from him.
Not to you. It was a gift to your children.
To our kids, not his kids.
I'll tell you something. If you were my son, maybe I wouldn't see you either. Judgment for the plaintiff on his claim, counterclaim for the $500 that he took back and that he's going to put back into the account is dismissed. Folks are outrageous.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I met him when I was 12 years old for the first
He's
time in
not
my
as
life.
good as a grandfather as he portrayed himself or the judge portrayed him.
The first time I met him, he was, you know, falling down drunk.
He stole money from the kids, and he had to pay it back.
And now the next case.
All parties on Messick versus Platts. Step forward, please.
Teenager Crystal Messick and her mother, 44-year-old sales rep Angie Messick, are suing 34-year-old loan officer Jama Platts for unpaid babysitting fees. Jama says she paid Crystal with a trip to Disneyland.
Tell me your name.
Vinny.
Vinny, would you go with Officer Byrd, please? He's going to take you outside. According to your complaint, you babysat for the defendant. She didn't pay you. You babysat for her for a whole summer. The defense by Miss Platts is that she took you on a nice trip. When did you begin working for her?
It was right after my school got out, like the middle of June.
And what was she supposed to pay you? By the hour, by the day?
At the beginning of the summer, she told me $500 for the whole entire summer.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Did she pay you at all?
No.
Did you have a conversation with her about payment?
I asked her several times, and there was always a different excuse.
Like what?
I'm not sure what this whole house deal was, but it was we had to wait for the house to go through, and then it never went through, I guess.
But it's clear that your arrangement with her was that you were going to be paid $500 for the entire summer.
Yeah.
Then why are you suing her for $2,772?
Because when that was the agreement, I didn't know that I would be spending my whole entire summer there. I was staying at her house for like weeks at a time. I cooked and I cleaned. Cleaning was never in the agreement with $500.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Teenager Crystal Messick says during an entire summer, she babysat for Jama Platts. Crystal is suing Jama for not paying her.
But you never changed the arrangement with her, Crystal, about the $500. Is that right?
That's right.
You just continued to go there. And you never said to her, well, this wasn't part of the arrangement.
No.
So really what we're talking about here is $500, because that was your agreement, right? Just curious, how many days a week did you babysit for her?
And at the beginning, it was just like on weekends and during the day. But then in July, I was babysitting every day, every night.
Every day and night?
Yes.
Why didn't you pay her?
I was at that time in the foreclosure business. I had not been paid. I was going through a divorce. Crystal told me she would rather stay with me than with her mother because she was not getting along with her mother.
So?
And let her stay with me.
Well, you let her stay with you, but she took care of your child.
Absolutely.
And you had a contract, a verbal contract with her to pay her $500 for the summer.
And
she did, in fact, babysit for you in July and August every day?
Correct.
You went to business?
Yes.
How much do you think it would have cost you a week to have somebody take care of your child?
$80 probably.
A week?
In Denver, Colorado, yeah.
$80 for an entire week? Is that what you're telling me? 7 days?
To the day, well, Monday through Friday.
And what about on the weekends, in the evening? Did you ever go out?
Yes, I would have paid more than that.
Of course you would have paid more than that, $80 a week. So say, minimally, you would have paid somebody $100 a week.
Correct.
From mid-June until, when did you stop working?
The very end of August.
Our trip was August 28th.
Okay, so you're talking about 10 weeks. So minimally, you would have paid somebody else at least double just for babysitting, right?
Yes.
So why didn't you pay her $500?
I took her on a trip to Disneyland.
Well, let me hear about that. That's nice of you.
We went to Disneyland. I had an agreement that with the law settlement that I was supposed to be getting, I got paid a $9,000 check. I took $3,000 of that. I was supposed to be getting paid $120,000 on a foreclosed property. The
Yes.
settlement did not go through.
So you, go ahead.
So I took her to Disneyland
No,
with
go
my
ahead. So
son
you,
and I
just a second. So at the end of the summer, you got your check. Why didn't
for
you take...
$9,000.
Why didn't you take $500 and give her...
I asked her if she would rather have that. She said she wanted to go to Disneyland.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell me about the conversation.
We were at the kitchen table at my house. I said, do you want to go to Disneyland? I would like to take you and my son to Disneyland as part of payment for being with my son all summer. When the rest of the settlement comes through, I will also pay you the money. The rest of the settlement has never come through. I took her and my son to Disneyland, and we spent 5 days in San Diego, SeaWorld, Disneyland. She agreed that it was verbally on the airplane that that was payment enough. I didn't owe her any more money.
Well, tell me about the conversation that you had with her on the airplane.
I said to her, is this payment enough for what you've done for me this summer?
Why would you ask us such a question, Miss Platts? Why would you place a 14-year-old, and you're an adult, in a position of having a 14-year-old say to you after you've taken her on a trip, is this payment enough? I treated you very well. You expect a 14-year-old, even if you asked her that, did you visit with the dog?
At least once every week, sometimes every day.
That's
at
a
least
lie.
Once every week. I went by, my sister went by to visit.
I'm not talking about your sister. I'm talking about you. How often did you go to visit with this dog during the 6-month period?
At least once a week, once every week.
To see me, not the dog.
So once a week. How far did you live from the defendants?
5 minutes away.
So you could have gone over every day.
Sometimes I went over every day. I went over there every chance I could.
They were friends, I mean. We were friends. She came to see me, not the dog. I mean, yeah, when she came, she saw the dog, but she never ever called me once to say that she's going to come see Penny. It was because
Your
we
Honor,
had plans.
that's a lie.
No, we had plans.
Just a second.
We had plans that maybe she came over to see me.
Just a second.
And she never had possession of the dog.
Did you say? Hey.
Listen.
How much money did you give the defendants in the 6-month period to take care of the dog? Food, vet bills, grooming bills?
I did not give them any cash. When she first came over to my house,
So the answer is you gave them nothing.
I gave them all the supplies. Big bag of dog food, shampoo, conditioner, dog's bed, everything.
That was just left over from
Just
when
a
she had
second.
it.
I'm talking about in the 6 months the dog was there, not when she first took the dog, which is the supplies that you had in the house. I'm talking about if she was merely babysitting for this dog for you. It would seem to me you would have an arrangement to say, look, I don't want you to spend any money on, what kind of dog is that, a Maltese?
Maltese, yes.
I don't want you to spend money on grooming, on vet bills, on food, or anything else. You're just watching this dog for me. I want to pay you.
I have the grooming bills here, too.
If they do have it, I told them I'm willing to pay for it.
That's not what I'm asking you. So you lived in your apartment for 8 months, and they had the dog for 6 months. Then you went and found a new place to live.
Yes.
And the new place allows dogs.
Yes.
So you want the dog back.
Yes.
What is your version of how the dog came into your possession?
Okay, basically, she never had possession of their dog, Penny. Her sister, took care of Penny. She was giving birth, and she couldn't have a dog in the house. She asked me for a favor, if I could give Penny a new home. And I told her that I'm going to ask my brother, because I live with my parents and my brother, and I know my brother loves dogs. So I never owned a dog myself, so I didn't know. So I told her that, I'll ask my brother and my family. I told her maybe a couple days or a week later that my brother was willing to take care of the dog. And there was times before they gave Penny up, they sold this dog, once before, and they got it back. I mean, who gives a dog away?
When did they sell the dog before?
A couple months before, they sold the dog, they took it back. Then now they gave it to us, and then
under what circumstances? Do you know the story about how they sold it?
Yeah, they just wanted to get rid of the dog because they knew they couldn't house the dog.
Just a second.
It wasn't convenient for them, and they think that they can give this dog a new home anytime that it's inconvenient for them.
Just a minute. Who did they sell the dog to?
They put an ad out and they sold it to someone.
Did you put an ad in the paper for the dog?
Yes, I did.
When?
In November of last year. Because at that time, my sister was pregnant. I was living with my sister. I had no intentions of moving out. So my sister was pregnant. We could not take care of my dog. So I put out an ad in the newspaper, and someone wanted to buy it for $300. They had it for a day, and my sister kept crying. She could not sleep, eat. She had a hard time getting over it. So we called them back, and we told them that we want our dog back. Is there any possible way if we could buy the dog back? They said, well, we paid $300 for it, and we took Penny to the vet, grooming. Are you willing to pay all the fees that we pay for? So we paid them double, $600, to bring Penny back. And we
Because,
will-
just a second, because your sister couldn't sleep?
we stole Penny.
No. Because your sister couldn't sleep. That's
She
what you said.
couldn't sleep. She was crying. She was having a hard time getting over Penny.
Fine, but then your sister said, I can't take care of Penny anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
No, we bought Penny back, so we
You
brought
bought
him
Penny back.
And then I moved out in December.
And then your sister said, I can't take care
No,
of
so
Penny
that's why
anymore.
I had it temporary. I had it in my apartment without my manager knowing, and my manager found out that I had a dog, and he told me that I cannot keep my dog in my apartment.
Shin,
That's
listen to
when I
me.
asked Jennifer.
You didn't say to me that when you sold this dog before to somebody else, you thought you made a mistake. You couldn't sleep at night. You couldn't eat. You said your sister.
Me and my sister.
No, that's not what you said.
No,
you
and
said
then
my sister. You said my sister.
I am the one who paid $600 out of my pocket to bring Penny back. I'm the one that drove
If it
over
was
there
that
to
hard for
Torrance
you to get over,
to bring Penny back.
Don't.
And then
what?
Without telling my manager, I snuck Penny into my apartment. I kept him for a while, and then my manager found out. He told me that I need to either move out or take Penny to somewhere else. So I brought Penny back to my sister, and then that's when Jennifer offered me.
Just a second. You brought the dog back to your sister, and your sister said, I can't manage a dog because I'm pregnant now.
Penny was only there for a week.
Did you hear what I said? Your sister said to you, I can't take her now, because otherwise you would have left the dog with your sister, right? Right? I mean, if you moved into a place where you couldn't keep the dog, and your sister, who couldn't sleep at night 2 months before, she would have said, fine, I'll keep Penny until you find another place to stay. But your sister said, I can't keep her.
She was pregnant. That's why I kept it in my apartment without my
So she got over
approval.
being hysterical.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sharon Shin says former friend Jennifer Yu and her brother Jay Yu refused to return her Maltese named Penny. Jennifer and Jay say Sharon abandoned the dog.
My next question to you, Miss Shin, is if you had the kind of love and affection that you seem to want me to believe that you had for this dog, why didn't you find an apartment in a month?
I tried to. I found
2
the
months.
place that I
3
moved-
months. 4 months.
The place that
6 months later?
Yes, but I trusted these people. They had agreed that they would watch Penny for me until
Miss
I
Shin,
could
that's
find
not
a
what I'm.
place.
That's not what I'm saying to you. We're not talking about a cup, or a desk, or a pair of glasses. We're talking about an animal that has a feeling. You want to know how I know? Just stand there for a minute, and I'm going to show you.
아니 그게 좋아하면 왜 저를 팔았다는 얘기를 하는 거예요. 저는 팔았다가 왜 그건 지금 우리가 그렇게 나누는 거.
This one's mine. This one's mine. Lulu, come sit here with me. This one's mine. When I went to find a new apartment, and the landlord said, you can't have a dog, I don't care if they were offering me a palace. It's not worth it. Because if a dog is part of your life, is part of your soul, you don't move into a place where you can't have a dog. And you don't give up a dog for 6 months and let it bond with another family and then say, I want it back. You don't do that.
Thank you.
You don't do that. That's outrageous.
Yes, but
Go buy another dog.
that's what they told me, Your Honor.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Go buy another dog.
Your Honor, I've had this dog since the birth.
You've never had this dog.
Just a minute. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't. The dog lived with your sister.
I
Then the
lived
dog
with my
lived with
sister.
them.
I lived with my sister for a year
Listen
after
to
he
me.
gave birth.
You lived with your sister. Then your sister had the dog. Then you moved into an apartment for 8 months. Then they have the dog for 6 months.
7 months.
7 months. Now you want the dog back? You're not bonded with this dog. Because if you were bonded, you would not have moved to an apartment where you couldn't have dogs. That's the first question you ask. You say, I have a pet. So if you move into a place that says no pets, you say no pets, no me. And you go someplace else. But you don't let your dog bond with another family and then say, I want it back. This is not an animal that you've had for 10 years. You had this animal, all told, maybe for a year. But not the last year. The last year, they've given this dog a home and affection and attention. So if you want another Maltese, go buy one.
Your Honor, this dog belongs to me.
Not anymore. Your case is dismissed.
Your Honor,
Goodbye.
please. I have the evidence here.
You may step out.
This isn't fair. They agreed that they'll watch the dog for me until I find a place. It's a temporary agreement, and now they're saying they're denying the whole fact that they. I trusted these people.
She's just inconsiderate and she's very selfish, obviously, because she just thinks that this is Penny's an object, and it's not. She can't give it away anytime she feels like it's inconvenient to her and take it back whenever.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of DeRosa versus Lane. Step forward, please.
22-year-old hairstylist Angela DeRosa is suing former friend, 24-year-old customer service rep Michael Lane, for the cost of rims for his Mustang and a new Movado watch. Michael says they were both gifts.
Mr. Rosa, you claimed 2 loans to the defendant.
Yes, I did.
Why would you make him loans to begin with? You had a relationship with him?
We were friends. He got into a car accident. He needed help. He wanted rims for his car, so I helped him out.
All right, he got into a car accident, and you were just friends.
Yep. When he
Look
got into
at
his
me.
car accident, I was the person he called to come get him.
Look at me. He got into an accident with his car. And you came and rescued him.
I came, picked him up at the hospital.
And now tell me about the rims.
He wanted particular rims for his car.
How much after the accident?
It was right after the accident. The ones they were going to give him were the same ones he had before, but he wanted something bigger for his car, so he wanted 17-inch ones. So I made a phone call to my uncle. He got me the name of a place where I could get them at a good deal.
Did you tell him that you were doing that?
Yes, I did.
What did you say to him?
I said, I found them.
Look at me.
I said, I found them for $7.94.
And what did he say?
Yeah, let's do it.
And what did you say?
I said, all right, you need to write a check out, whatever, and then we need to figure this out. How many days can I get them to you? He wanted them right away, so we had to pay for extra shipping and handling. So I did it, and he was supposed to give me half the money when they came, but he never did because he didn't cash his check.
Well, you didn't say anything about him giving you money. You just said that you got him the rims. When was he supposed to give you money?
That was the deal we made. I would help him out with them when he asked me.
Helping him out by loaning him the money?
Yes. It wasn't a gift, it was a loan.
That's what you say. He says it was a gift. Mr. Rosa, why didn't he pay for the rims himself?
He didn't have the money.
Why didn't he have the money?
I don't know. He said he didn't have the money.
So then why did you do it?
Because I was being nice.
And that was very foolish. He wants 17-inch rims instead of 14-inch rims. He's got to compensate for something. So you say, listen, you don't got the money, go with the 14 inches. When were the rims? In what month?
I want to say August.
What else do you claim you loaned him money for?
The watch. Actually, he has the watch on right now on his wrist.
Yeah, so when did you
He
loan
went with
him?
me to go pick it up.
When?
We went to go pick it out, I think, in October or September. And we went to go write a check out, but...
Just a second. When did you actually transfer money for the watch?
October.
So 2 or 3 months after the rims hadn't been paid for.
Yep.
Right? So now he wants a new watch. Now tell me how it came about that you turned over any money to him for this new watch.
Because he had given me some money for it.
How much did he give you?
He gave me $150.
When?
That day we went to go get it.
Well, how did it come about that he came to get this new watch in the first place?
He saw it, he said he wanted it. He was going to write out a check. He couldn't write out a check. I figured I could write one out. They didn't take mine, so I said I'd go back and I would withdraw the money. And as we were leaving, he said that he needed the money back, and he'd give me the money when I gave him the watch. So I went back the next day and picked it up.
And paid for it?
Yep. And he was supposed to meet up with me and give me half the money. And when I met up with him, he didn't pay it me.
What about the watch?
The watch was a gift. Actually, my birthday's in June, and we went in July. So it's a correction of the date there. And she said, this is, I didn't get you anything for your birthday, so I'm going to grab you this watch because I know you want it. The watch itself was something that I could have done without. I didn't need it. At the time, I had my another watch.
What'd you need the rims for?
My car insurance was going to pay for the rims. The rims that I wanted. It wasn't a necessity. I mean, it's something, I wanted, but it's something that she offered. And I said, honestly, at the time, we were friends, and it wasn't an intimate relationship, but it was to the fact that she cared about me, and I appreciate it. But it's something that, if I know I'm not going to be able to pay somebody back, I'm not going to go ahead and offer, say, listen, I'm going to pay you back later on down the road. I know that the circumstances at the time, I couldn't pay you back. So I most certainly wasn't going to take anything. So,
Mr. Lane.
You lied right there.
Just a second. Mr. Rosa, because you acted foolishly doesn't mean you get paid.
I didn't act foolishly.
Yes. Oh, yes, you did.
Actually,
yes, you did.
He just said that I got it to him as a gift. Actually, the gift that was given to him for his birthday is a tattoo that's tattooed on his arm that was paid for. That's what was given to him.
Mr. Rosa, if you don't think you acted foolishly, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. Let's say I believe your scenario that this man who had no way to make any money of consequence wanted 17-inch rims for his car at a cost of $800 when the insurance company was going to give him 14-inch rims. And if you liked him and if he was your friend, you say, that's nice. You want to buy him? Buy him. But you knew he didn't have any money.
That's not true because I used to help him out by cashing his checks for him because he didn't have his bank account check yet, so I would cash him for him and give him the cash in his check.
I have direct deposit.
He said he had to pay back his cousin.
So he said he had to pay back his cousin, so he wasn't giving you any money. You did a very foolish thing, and after you did the first foolish thing by buying him these rims, let me tell you what you wrote here in your complaint, which I found very interesting. You said, defendant decided he wanted new rims for his tire. He was very persistent on getting them. So I special ordered them for him and had them delivered to him right away.
Yes. He was at my house the day he called me and said, did you get them yet? Did the rims come yet? He used to sit at my house. Did they get there yet? I have to go to work. Where are the rims? Why aren't they there? I have to have them dropped off.
He used you. He's not a nice person. Let me tell you something. From what he just told me, he's not a nice person. He has a bad character because he said to me, I knew I couldn't pay it back. I didn't want her to buy me any presents. I didn't want anything from her. She knew I couldn't pay it back, but he took them. He took the rims, and he took the watch, and he's wearing the rims. He's wearing the watch. I'd like him to wear the rims. He's wearing the watch, and he's driving around on the rims. So he is a person of poor character. Because if what he's intimated in his answer is true, he said you liked him more than he liked you, and therefore he took advantage of you, which makes him a bum.
Yeah.
Okay? But it makes you stupid, for which you do not get paid. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused.
Kathy Jones and her husband, Robert Jones, are suing Kathy's ex-husband, 39-year-old delivery man, Louis Serpa, for his share of their daughter's graduation expenses.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Jones versus Serpa. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Jones, the defendant is your former husband. Co-plaintiff is your present husband. When were you divorced from the defendant?
1982.
1982?
1992.
1992. And how many children do you have together?
3.
How old are they?
One's going to be 18, one's going to be 16, and one's going to be 13.
The 18-year-old is a girl?
Yes, she is.
Lives with you?
Yes, she does.
Where do the other 2 children live?
My 16-year-old daughter lives with me, and my son lives with my husband, ex-husband.
So the 2 minor children are split up.
Right.
Your lawsuit seeks half of your daughter's, your 18-year-old daughter's, graduation expenses, her gown, her prom tickets. Right now, there is a court order that says neither one of you are responsible for the support of the children because each of you has a minor child living with you. Is that right? Was there an agreement between the 2 of you to share these high school graduation expenses?
Yes, there was.
Well, tell me about the agreement.
I never agreed to anything.
Just a minute. She's going to tell me. I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I asked Louis if he could help me out with some of the expenses. He told me he would send me a couple $100 in a couple weeks, and he never did. And then he told me that Jennifer was no longer his responsibility.
Okay. So according to you, at best, he said to you, I'll send you a couple of $100. That's $200.
All I wanted him to do was help me out.
Okay. Well, my concern is that you're suing him for $500.
Because now I'm suing for half because, you know, he is a biological father. He should at least help.
Yeah, we just basically wiped out our savings account and everything else through, you know, for this whole prom and graduation thing and everything else. And
Mr. Jones, one of the things that concerned me in Mr. Serpa's answer was that you chose his daughter's graduation from high school as the time to serve him with a small claims suit.
That's right.
Why did you do that?
Well, because he lives in Bakersfield and we're in Sacramento, and otherwise we'd have to pay to have him served. And he's a truck driver. You know, it's hard to truck.
Well, how much do you think it would cost you to have him served?
I'm not sure what they charge. I think it's like $35 or something like that.
Right, to have him served.
But then the sheriff's got to track him down and everything else.
Just a minute. Not so hard to track him down. You have an apartment?
I have a house.
And you have a 13-year-old living with you?
Yes.
It's not so hard to track him down.
But Louis is not there all the time.
I don't care whether he's there all the time or not. Who was present when you served him with these papers?
My 16-year-old daughter.
My 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
And what about the graduate?
She was already down coming in. She didn't know that it was being done.
But it was done in front of the other two children.
Right.
That was a big mistake. You don't inflict your anger on an event that's supposed to be a joy for children by serving their father with a small claim suit. I assume the small claim suit was for the graduation expenses.
Yeah, and prom.
They actually used my 16-year-old daughter because she came over with one of his friends, and she introduced me to him, and then he served me with the paperwork.
What had you told your 16-year-old daughter about this person?
Oh, this was a neighbor of ours across the street that served the papers.
Did you tell your 16-year-old that her father was going to be served with papers by this person?
Yeah.
She knew.
Well, tell me what you told her. Who spoke to her?
Well, you mean when she went up to introduce our neighbor to her?
Before you got to the graduation, there had to be a plan, a plot.
Actually, no, she didn't know it at the time. When we got there,
we
didn't know how to get the papers to him, so I asked Laura if she wouldn't mind taking Rodney over there, because Rodney wanted to see Nick anyway.
Okay. If she wouldn't mind taking Rodney, your next-door neighbor, over to her father.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Rodney gave him the papers.
So is now what you're telling me that your daughter did not know he was going to give him the papers?
She knew. I mean, she didn't want to go over there, but she did it anyway.
What do you mean she didn't want to go over there?
Well, because she just hesitated, but she went over there to take
What do you
Rodney
mean she
over.
hesitated? She didn't hesitate. She said something to you. She said, I don't want to do this?
No.
What did she say?
She just kind of gave me that look like, well, Mom, but she went. But she didn't say nothing. She just
She sounds like a good kid to me. You had no right to do that. You people are not doing the right thing to your children. You're not.
Neither is he.
No. This was a very bad thing to do to your children. This was a very bad thing, far worse than a couple of $100 for a prom dress or a graduation ring or anything else. It's a far worse thing to enlist the aid of your 16-year-old who really didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be involved with it. You made her a co-conspirator in what you decided to do, which was to serve him papers on the date of your daughter's graduation. There isn't a question in my mind that your 18-year-old who graduated knew about what had happened. She may have known about it afterwards.
She knew before she told me that was going to happen.
She told you that it was going to
She
happen.
knew that you were going to get served papers, but she didn't know when that day.
She didn't know it was that day. She
Right.
just knew it was going to happen.
So you think that she was happy or not happy when she found out that her father was served on her graduate?
Well, I'm sure she wasn't happy about it.
So why did you do it?
I didn't have any other way to give it to him.
Of course you did. You mean you don't
Am I
see a
supposed to
13-year...
drive down there and give it to him?
Absolutely. If it's a choice between doing it on graduation day and getting in a car and driving down with your next-door neighbor and serving him with the papers, that's what you do.
But then we got to go through the
I
problem
wasn't
of trying
happy
to
about
find
it being
him
done
and
that
trying to
day.
track him down. I mean, he was already in Sacramento. He was there, you know. That's
Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
it's just that there's no way of tracking him down, you know. I mean,
No comment.
My daughter was really just devastated about me getting served. I went down after graduation, I told her, and she was really devastated. She was hurt.
And now the next case.
All parties on Coleman versus Smith. Step forward, please.
20-year-old sales rep Shireen Coleman is suing her former landlord, 63-year-old retired secretary Gloria Smith, for slander, harassment, and invasion of privacy. Gloria is countersuing for harassment, mental anguish, and destruction of property.
Ms. Coleman, you rented a piece of property, residential property, from the defendant and claimed that she turned out to be the landlady from hell. According to you, she slandered you, she maligned you, she invaded your privacy. Ms. Smith, on the other hand, said that you were really a problem tenant and that the only time that you filed a lawsuit against her was after she had moved to have you evicted. When did you move to have her evicted?
On the 9th of June.
Has that matter been heard
Oh,
yet?
yes, the sheriff has already posted the property on June 13th.
What does that
or
mean?
July
posted?
13th.
What does that mean?
That means that they came out and gave the property back to me. They moved out that morning.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
When did you move in?
We moved in the 19th, which was a Friday.
Of May?
Yeah. I have the rental agreement here, as well as the receipt for the money paid.
Okay. She doesn't say that you didn't pay the rent. Is
That's
that
right.
right?
That's right.
There's no dispute about that. So you tell me what your problems were with her that you believe a court would compensate you for.
Okay, she slandered me, Your Honor, to my own boss, okay? This is my employer right here. She called me a drug addict. She told me that I was a lowlife.
Wait 1 second. She didn't tell this to you. She told this to your boss.
Correct.
Okay. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Donna Stewart.
You want to tell me about a conversation that you had with the defendant?
Shreen called me to come over and be with her to pay the rent for a witness because she had been giving her a hard time. She gave me the cash for the rent. I wrote a check to her. When we went over, their neighbors, right next door to each other, she started screaming. They were drug addicts, losers. They couldn't make any money. The boss had to pay the bills.
Didn't you find it odd that Miss Coleman asked you to go with her to pay her rent?
No.
Why not?
Because I know the story. It goes back before that.
Right, because there was a pre-existing situation that existed between these two people.
Yes.
So it is peculiar to have somebody come with you to ask you to pay your
so,
rent.
yes.
Of course. So that they had had a problem before. Now, were you aware of the fact that Miss Smith wanted Miss Coleman out of the property?
No, not at that time.
Well, she did want you out of the property, correct?
This was before that.
Miss Coleman, what kind of problem did you fear when you went to hand her the rent check?
That she wasn't going to accept my rent for some
Right.
reason.
Right. If she wasn't going to accept your rent check, then you must have known that she wanted you out of the premises, right?
Yes.
What led you to believe that?
Because her actions toward us...
Why don't you just have a seat? Because this guy's got ants in his pants. He's
Well, no,
dying to get up here.
I
Why
lived
don't
there
you...
with her. I lived there with her.
This is my
And
fiance.
the problem was the day that we tried to pay the rent, I removed the fascia board on the bottom of the house. Okay, when I removed the board, the stucco on the house fell all the way down to the chicken wire. We have pictures of it here to show you. When I did that, I told Gloria that I couldn't fix it. She needed to get a professional to repair it. She said she was going to repair it with a can of concrete fix-all and some newspaper in there. So therefore
that stuff off for?
She asked me to remove it. We were going to repair it and paint.
That's before.
This is pictures of it before I took it off.
And here's pictures after.
And here's pictures after I took it off. That was in the agreement that we were going to remove them, paint, and apply new ones.
And what date was this?
The day we paid our rent, the next rent.
It was the 5th of June. This was before that we received the eviction notice.
Okay, and Lee had approached me and asked me for the rent.
Okay. Now, Miss Smith, did you, in fact, do you acknowledge, in fact, that you said to this lady when she went to give you the check that she and or her boyfriend were drug addicts?
I never had a conversation with her. She only brought over a check on June 20th. After the eviction time, she brought a cop with her and demanded me to come get the rent. And then she says, do I have to take you to court to force you to take the rent money?
No. Okay.
And I have the police report.
Well, this could be resolved by showing, you say that you went to pay the rent on June 5th.
Which I have the receipt.
Show me either the canceled check of June 5th.
Here's the receipt from Miss Smith.
From Gloria and Lee.
Yeah. It was June 20th.
Because Lee had given us the receipt to begin with. And I said I needed a receipt from Gloria because Lee didn't have nothing to do with our rental agreement, landlord, co-owner, nothing. So therefore...
This is dated June 5th for $150, and there's another one dated June 5th for another $150.
There's one for the 19th, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. When Lee accepted the check, he marked cash, and he signed it. I further asked Gloria, can you please sign it? Because you had told me previously you didn't want him on...
How much was your whole rent?
Our whole rent for the first month was $550. She offered to break it up in 2 payments, $400 on the 20th and $150 on the 5th, for the first month only.
So far, is that correct?
So far, that's right.
Okay. Because I do have a check for $400 on the 19th, and I have a receipt, $150, 2 payments of $150 on the 5th of June.
Right, there's only 1 payment though.
Okay. So how much was the check that you gave her?
$150?
Yes.
Yes.
$150?
Yes, ma'am.
So you did have a conversation with her?
No. They
Never.
brought me over the check. I have not talked with that lady, except to tell her to get off my property when they came onto my property illegally.
Who came onto your property?
Miss Alvarez and her husband climbed over my fence that's marked posted, no trespassing.
That's not.
And I have witnesses to that effect.
Where?
Well, they couldn't come today because
Then I'm not
I have
interested. Then I'm not interested.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're fibbing, Miss Smith.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shireen Coleman says her former landlord, Gloria Smith, slandered her, claiming she's a drug dealer.
What was the problem that you were having with these people when they moved in? I mean,
when they first moved in, they seemed very nice. I mean, they come across that way. Within a couple of days, they even admit they partied during the middle of the night.
What do you mean they admit that they partied during the night?
Well, they said they were out there laughing, joking, and drinking in the middle of the night. They played a joke on the neighbor behind the house. And there's a little green light that they had on when they first moved in.
Yeah.
And the police said, that's a warning light, you better get rid of them, because that can mean illegal activity in the police terminology, and I could lose my home.
Barbecue is a party, Your Honor.
At 3 in the morning.
We sat out in the on the patio and had barbecue and drank beer, yes. Okay. This is one of our neighbors, if I could call her, please.
Ms. Tana up? She is one of our neighbors who live across the way. She is also a witness to Mrs. Smith's previous activities with all of her neighbors. Every tenant that comes in there,
I don't want to hear about. I only want to hear about you.
Okay. And she lives across the way.
Go ahead,
Your Honor, if I may.
No, just a minute. Are you related to any of these people?
No.
You're just a neighbor. And how long have you been a neighbor of the defendants?
I lived in the duplexes across the way.
Okay.
And I've been there about almost going on 2 years.
Okay. You have anything to contribute to this case?
When we first moved in, she'd put a note on our car for destruction of property, was going to have us arrested.
I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about this lady. Did you ever hear the defendant slander Miss Coleman?
Yes, she was yelling about being the drug addicts.
You heard that?
Yes.
When?
There was like 2 occasions.
Who was she yelling at?
At people that was like coming in and from her yard. I mean, just standing out there hollering.
Okay. You have a cause of action here, Ms. Coleman, for invasion of privacy.
That's correct.
Okay. You want to explain that to me?
She has seen Miss Tanner in my home when I am not there.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
On which date?
You know, I don't know the exact date. I always sit out on my front step, and I seen her go inside of the house when they were not there. But I didn't know...
Okay, but you don't know whether she had asked for permission or not?
No, that's why I
Because you don't know the dates.
Right.
Ms. Coleman, did you in fact give permission to the defendant to go into your apartment on certain dates to do repairs?
She gave me the 24-hour notice, and on those days I was home the whole time that she said she would be there. She never came in. Other than that, I have not given her permission to enter my house.
Your Honor, there's something I'd like to say about her witness, if I may. She was subpoenaed by the Superior Court of Riverside to appear in court on my behalf because this is the second tenant she's gone to court to lie for.
I'm not so sure she's lying. I'm not so sure that either one of you has a cause of action. And I'm not so sure that you weren't permitted to go into the apartment, whether she was home or not, to do repairs. But I am concerned, Ms. Smith, quite frankly, about the statement that I do believe that because of perhaps something that you heard from the police about a green light as being cause of illegal activity, and they had a green light outside of their house, that you, in fact, said to other people that the plaintiff and or her fiancé were drug addicts. I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Oh, no, I believe you said that.
No, ma'am.
Well, I'm the judge.
I know.
I'm the judge. And I'm telling you, you look like a very nice lady, but I believe you got mad, and I believe that you called them drug addicts to other people, and you have no right to do that. You have a right to take them to court, and you have the right to have them evicted, which you did. The only thing that I am going to address here is the issue of slander.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There is some defense to slander if the accusation that you made, which was calling them drug addicts, was true. So if you wish to tell me what proof you had that either of these two people were drug addicts, then that's a defense. You want to tell me?
Well, they admitted they were doing drugs when they moved in.
Who did they admit that to?
To Lee and I. They wanted a second chance.
Let me hear that. Come on, let me hear it. I want to hear.
They just says we've been doing drugs, but we're trying to get clean.
That is not true, Your Honor.
And to give them a second chance.
Why would someone who comes to rent a house from you tell you, unless you were taking them in from a facility, quiet, Ms. Smith, come and tell you that they were both recovering drug addicts, and they wanted a second chance.
Because we told them we did not allow anyone who were doing drugs on the property.
So were you telling me you didn't allow anybody who was using drugs? That was a statement that you made for them, to them, and they said to you, we used to use drugs, but we don't anymore?
Right.
You're fibbing, Miss Smith. You're fibbing. Big time. Maybe a nice lady, but a nice lady who's not telling the truth. And I find that you did, in fact, you may have had cause to evict them. You have an absolute right to go to court and have your property returned to you, which you did. You have no right, without proof, to call somebody a drug addict to their employer or to a neighbor. And on that charge alone, I'm awarding the plaintiffs $2,000. That's all.
Thank you,
Lawyers
Judge.
are
Thank
excused. You may step out.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues. Computer salesman Ronald Carter is suing his ex-girlfriend, 23-year-old nurse Catherine Overby, for a down payment on a car. Catherine has a countersuit claiming Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 200 on the calendar, the matter of Carter versus Overby.
How are you, Bird?
Good, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Carter, according to your complaint, you and the defendant decided to start to live together. You were living in one city, she was living in another city. You joined her where she was living, and you needed a car. According to you, you went shopping for a car. You gave her $1,000 towards the deposit for the car. So far, correct?
Yes, correct.
You lived together for a while. It didn't work out. She kept the car. You want your money back.
Yes.
You have a counterclaim. Counterclaim is on the day that you decided to ultimately break up, Mr. Carter became very violent, and there was an incident in the car that involved not only an assault, but certain destruction of your property, correct?
Correct.
When did you decide to purchase this car together?
In February.
And you had not yet moved down to where the defendant was living?
That's correct.
Correct. And you went shopping for the car, and what kind of car did you decide to buy?
It was a 97 Toyota Camry.
Did you go together?
We went together to pick out the car. When we did the agreement and all the dealer papers, this was done. Okay.
Everything is in your name?
Correct.
You say from the day the car came off the lot, he drove it?
Correct.
How long did you drive the car, sir?
1 month.
Till March?
Yep.
Is that when you broke up?
Yes.
When was the first car payment due?
It was end of March. I'm not sure on the exact date.
We purchased the car on 2/23. The first car payment was due on 3/23, which I paid in full myself.
When did you have this argument?
The argument happened on 3/23.
On the day the car payment was due?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, how much did you put it down as a down payment?
I put $1,000 down.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So, Miss Overby, this romance lasted 4 weeks after you purchased the car, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, let's say that he used the car for an entire month.
Correct.
And the car payment was
$37.38.
And you acknowledge that you used the car for the whole month?
Yes, correct.
Well, do you think it's fair, Miss Overby, that he should be out his $1,000?
Considering the trauma that I've gone through, the vandalism to my car...
We'll get to your counterclaim in a minute.
Okay.
Let's forget counterclaim for a second. Let's talk about his case. You think it's fair?
I do, considering he used the car for the whole month.
Well, what if, Miss Overby, we did what would be a common sense thing and say to Mr. Carter, look, you used the car for a month, and the car payment for that month was $337. So I'm going to deduct the $337 for your use of the car, right? You couldn't rent a car for less.
Yes.
And I'll give you the balance. Are you following me?
Correct, yes.
Would that be fair?
Yes.
Now, when you broke up that evening, according to what I've read, you came home and found him loading his stuff into this new car.
Correct.
And it was your intention to take the car.
Just to take my stuff back to a location in Boston.
And what did you intend then to do with the car?
I talked to her before. I said if she wanted to keep the car, all she had to do was just return my deposit, or if not, she could go down and transfer the lease into my name You know, that way it would freed her up, but she chose just to want to take the car and go.
You think it's fair, don't you, that you pay for something, some part of that car?
Yes.
Okay. Bird, I'm going to try to work this machine now, you know.
Okay.
This may take a little time. This is not my strong suit, this calculator machine. Ah, 663. Did it. Okay, so according to what I see, sir, that's $663 that you owe her. Now, you have another small amount of money that you say you spent on this car, and that was to register it.
Registration, which she didn't put anything in.
Okay, and how much did it cost you to register the car?
Like $220.
Show me.
That one, she has it because it was in her name. So all the registration is in her name.
Did he register the car?
He registered the car.
Did he pay for the registration?
He offered the money to me. He gave this money to me as a gift. He said in order for us to do anything together as a couple, he wanted us to be a strong couple.
Why don't you just give me an answer?
Yes,
did he pay the $220?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And I'm going to give you credit, sir, for the $220 you spent to register the car, because there are some interesting lessons here. One of them is, you don't buy things jointly unless you're married, because courts get irritated if they have to resolve these things between people who are foolish enough to try a living arrangement and then buy cars together and houses together and credit cards together, and then we're asked to take this mishmash and make it right. There are more important things we have to do in courts. You understand that? Next time you decide to live with somebody, keep it separate.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Ronald Carter says his former live-in girlfriend, Catherine Overby, owes him for a down payment on a car. Catherine is accusing Ronald of kidnapping her at knife point.
Now, let's hear what kind of a bad person you were on the night you broke up, because Miss Overby says that her counterclaim is a serious one. Is that right, Miss Overby?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
I was at work. Mr. Pickett had bounced a check to me on behalf of my son due to his non-payment of child support. This is my son's father.
What are you doing sitting over there, sir? I mean, what are you doing here in court?
The initial broke-up instigated between those two, which trapped me in the middle.
Sit down. Sit down. Okay. He's your child's father. He bounced a check. What happened with him? March 23rd.
I got home from work that evening at 10 o'clock. Ronald was coming down the stairs with bags of stuff and putting it in the car. I said, Ronald, I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm taking the car. And I said, you can't just take the car. That's considered auto theft. And he said, I don't care. He said, until I get my $1,000 back, I'm stealing the car. I told him, I said, listen, I said, he's acting completely irrational. I totally believe to this day, Your Honor, that this man has an anger problem. And he needs to deal with it because it's very dangerous. I went to the ATM.
Just a second.
What is she talking?
Just a second. So he said he wanted his $1,000 and he was taking the car until he got his $1,000. And you believed he was irrational, but you got into the car with him anyway.
Yes, because he was threatening to steal the car.
All right, car is a car, your life is your life. You're supposed to be smart, but you got into the car. And you got into the passenger seat of the car.
I got into the driver's seat of the car at that point.
Well, you didn't end up in the driver's seat.
Correct.
Because he got into the driver's seat, according to your complaint.
Correct.
How did that happen?
I was driving down a highway in New Hampshire called 93.
You were driving?
I was driving at this point. He put a knife to the back of my neck and had control of the wheel and insisted to me to pull off at exits. This man had a knife to my neck. He made me pull the car over. He told me to get out of the car and move to the passenger side, which I didn't. I switched seats within the car. And then he drove.
Where did he drive to?
He drove to his mother's house in Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Okay, were you talking while you were doing this drive? Were you talking about your problems?
Right.
Were you talking about your problems, Miss Overby?
Yes, we were talking about our problems.
Were you talking about the relationship and how it didn't work out? Were you talking about your son? Were you talking about your son's father?
I was talking about how I wanted to go home to my son. I said, if you're going to kill me, I said, let me give my son a last kiss goodbye, because without me, he has no one.
But were you talking about anything else other than that, Miss Overby?
I told him that I said, you're completely acting irrational. I said, I want to leave. I said, I don't ever want to see you again. I said, stay away from me. Don't come near me. I was begging for mercy.
Okay. So then you get to his mother's house, right?
Correct.
And he takes his stuff out of the car?
Yes.
And according to you, he took the keys to the car, too?
Yes, he never came back with my keys, Your Honor.
So what did you do?
I waited outside for about 10 minutes to see if he might come back. Then I decided I would knock on his mother's door. His mother came out probably about 15 minutes later, and she said Ronald wasn't there, but kindly let me into her house so I could call AAA that night.
Why did you take the car keys, Mr. Carter?
Because she tossed some of my CDs, so I tossed her car keys.
What do you mean she tossed some of your CDs?
The CDs that I had in the car, I was taking with me. She was like throwing the stuff out of the car, so I threw her keys down.
Did you take any of his CDs and throw them out of the car?
I gave him all of his stuff back.
That's not my question. My question was...
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Yes, you did. You see, put your head down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I gave him all his stuff, but I threw him out of terror.
You threw them?
Right.
So you threw his CDs on the ground?
Correct.
And then he took the car keys and?
I tossed them.
Where'd you toss them?
Like, it's like, I guess, like in a yard right by where we parked in front of the house. But she didn't see where the keys got tossed.
Did you have a knife in the car?
No.
Tell me about the car ride, Mr. Carter.
I was driving to my mother's, and she kept trying to, she wanted to work things out, and I kept saying no, and then she like went in some driving 90 miles per hour, smoking a cigarette, drinking a soda, just doing everything at one time. So I felt that she was like incapable of driving, so I asked her to pull over, and that's when I completed the ride home to my mother's house.
When did you go to the police, Miss Overby?
I went to the police that night.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Did you tell the police that he slashed the car tires?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because when I came out to catch the locksmith, the tires to my car were slashed. I also have a AAA report, too.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Carter, did you slash her tires?
No, I did not.
Who slashed her tires, sir? It's much too coincidental.
That's a story that she made up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When she went out to wait for AAA, she found the tires slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
Who's to say she didn't slash the tires?
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well, you don't know Catherine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald Carter claims ex-girlfriend Catherine Overby owes him $1,000. Catherine says Ronald assaulted her with a knife.
Oh, Mr. Carter, let me tell you something, sir.
Yes.
I believe that there's little truth in what both of you are saying about what happened that night. I do believe, Miss Overby, that there was more of a discussion in the hour that you were traveling to his mother's house than just how terrified you were. I do believe, however, Mr. Carter, that you slashed her tires, or you knew who did. Do you want to know why, sir? It's too coincidental, and because the AAA report indicates clearly that the tires were slashed once they got there. The initial report to AAA was that she needed somebody to respond because she had no keys. That telephone call was made from your mother's house,
Yes,
right?
Correct.
And you were not there.
No.
But you were somewhere.
Yes.
And then when she went out to wait for AAA, she found the tires slashed in her car. Who do you think did that?
I have no idea. But the case that she brought, all charges were dismissed.
Of course they were dismissed, Mr. Carter, because without any proof,
That is
beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the quantum of proof in a criminal case, they can't proceed. The quantum of proof here in a civil matter is less than beyond a reasonable doubt. It's just more evidence than not. You rely on your common sense. Do you understand? It just doesn't seem logical to me, sir, that somebody else, during that brief 15 minutes while she was in your mother's house waiting for the AAA to respond, didn't like the car and went over and slashed 2 tires on the car. Where did you go, Mr. Carter, when you went home?
I went to my friend's house.
Did you go out the back door?
Out the back door.
you have to put new tires on the car?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have a receipt for the tires.
Okay. Just for my own information, what was this initial argument about on the 23rd?
On the 23rd?
Yeah.
The initial argument was about me calling my baby's father's job. He
Yes.
thought that it wasn't rational for me to call and ask for the money back from a bounce check he had written out to me on behalf of my son.
Shh, just a second. Is that what the argument was about, Mr. Carter?
The whole thing started because of her lying, which it started way before that date. But the constant lying that Kathy's always used to doing, I got fed up with the relationship and I decided to end it.
All right, so you decided to end it.
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to say, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stand up. Stand up.
Ms. Overby states that she called my job. She did not call my job. It was constant harassment.
Good. Sit down. Okay. Mr. Carter, I have to make a judgment based upon both common sense and the information that I have. I find, however, that your actions on the night of the 23rd of March of this year were totally irrational. You decided to end the relationship.
Yes.
And irrespective of how angry you were because she threw your CDs on the floor, you knew that by tossing the keys in a place in the dark where she would never find them, that she'd have difficulty, right?
I told her where the keys. Oh, I said the keys were outside.
You said the keys were outside. Outside is a big place, Mr. Carter. So you knew she'd have difficulty, and you knew she was going to be stranded. So instead of even waiting at your mother's house, you took off through the back door and went to a friend's house, right?
Yes.
And then lo and behold, after she makes the call to AAA that she has no car keys, she comes out and finds 2 tires slashed. That's according not to her. That's according to AAA. Flattened and slashed.
Who's to say she didn't slash the tires?
Because you would have to be an idiot to do that.
Well, you...
No, you'd have to be an idiot to do that. She may allege a lot of things. She may say that you kidnapped her, which is baloney, because he didn't kidnap you. You got in the car, right? I mean, but part of your counterclaim is you say he kidnapped you. I don't believe that for a minute.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Okay. Well, I find that she had certain out-of-pocket expenses, sir. And her out-of-pocket expenses were $130 for tires. And then you spent a whole night. Who was watching your son during that night?
A babysitter.
Mm-hmm. And this babysitter is someone that you pay by the hour?
Correct.
How much do you pay the babysitter by the hour?
$5 an hour.
Pretty cheap babysitter. What time did you get home the next day?
5 o'clock in the morning.
And what about the evening, being stuck out in a place she's totally unfamiliar with until 5 o'clock in the morning, until she finally got herself home? How much do you think that's worth?
I have no idea why she was stuck. I knew nothing about the tires.
You knew about the car keys.
I talked to her that night. I was trying to tell her where the keys was when
Why
I
didn't you
told
go
her.
get the car keys for her instead of telling her where to look for them? Why didn't you say, sorry, I threw them, I'm coming right back, I'll find the keys for you?
She wouldn't give me time. She kept yelling over the phone.
What do you mean she wouldn't give you time?
She wouldn't give me a chance to say anything
Why
over
don't
the
you get on
telephone.
the phone with your mother and say, listen, she's a little irrational because she doesn't have the keys and I don't want her to be upset. This is where I threw the keys. Why don't you talk to your mother?
Because she had the phone. She wouldn't give anyone else the phone.
Oh, Mr. Carter, you got an answer for a lot of stuff, sir.
You don't know Catherine.
Well, let me ask you this question. Did you call the house or did she call your friend's house?
I called the house.
What'd you call the house for?
To see if she had left.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I could see if it was safe to come back home.
So when you called your mother's house, who answered the phone?
My brother did.
So why didn't you tell your brother to go outside, tell him exactly where you threw the keys so that he could give him back the car keys? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, I should have.
Should have. Right. You should have was going to cost you $883, so I'm dismissing your claim. Do you understand that, Mr. Carter? On the other hand, you owed him some money, right?
Right.
And I've just found that his aggravation that evening cost $883, so your counterclaim likewise is dismissed. Goodbye, folks.
Parties are excused.
31-year-old distribution company manager Johnny Ray Gibson is suing his uncle, 35-year-old Anthony Gibson, for stealing his gold chain and medallion after they had a fist fight.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 66 on the calendar in the matter of Gibson versus Gibson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Gibson, the defendant is your uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that an incident occurred that he assaulted you, and during the course of that assault, he ripped a necklace off of your neck and took it.
Necklace and medallion.
Tell me how that happened, sir. And first tell me when.
March 1st. I went over to my auntie's house, and he was over there. When I found out he was over there, he tried to shake my hand. We had got into it about a couple weeks before this previously.
You mean you had an argument with him?
A couple weeks before, he busted out her windshield, my girlfriend's windshield out of her car. So we were already on bad terms. Of course, he paid for it, but we were already on bad terms because
Why did he do that? Why did you bust out the windshield on her car?
We had a confrontation. Me and this guy, my nephew, we don't see eye to eye whatsoever.
No, but why did you break out the windshield on her car?
We was fighting. And as he always have done, you know, as a coward, he sucker punches and runs and all this old kind of shit. And I couldn't get to him, excuse me, but I couldn't get to him. You understand me? So I did the next thing, and I broke the window. I don't have no reason to lie whatsoever.
Had you been drinking?
Yes, I had been drinking.
Gotcha. Okay, now on this occasion, you went over to your aunt's house. He was there, and what happened?
he tried to shake my hand like he always do after he does something dumb.
So we tried to make up.
Yeah, and I shook him. I went and I called my girlfriend. I told her to meet me. I left out the house to go meet her out in the driveway. She pulls up. He comes out. He had been drinking that day. He comes out, follows me to the car. He comes up. He's like, "Oh, Nana, give me a ride to Crenshaw. Give me a ride to Crenshaw." I'm like, "She not giving you a ride."
Lie.
I'm like, she not giving you a ride nowhere. Matter of fact, just step back a little bit. So he walks around.
I know. I'm going to let you tell me your side of the story.
He walks around to the passenger side of the car and tries to get in the car.
Okay.
That's when I walked around the side and slammed the car shut and was like, "Man, back up off the car." And so then he takes his glasses off. He's like, "Oh, you think you bad? You think you bad in front of your girlfriend?" I was like, "Uncle Tony, back up on me. I don't want no problems. Just leave me alone." He started walking towards me. We start fighting.
When you say fight, you were punching or shoving or what were you doing?
Fighting.
Really
Brawl.
fighting?
Yes.
Fighting with your fists?
Fists, feet, everything. Fighting. So let me see, after that, I backed up. He slammed me a few times on the fence. I punched him a few times. My watch broke. I grabbed my watch. Now my uncle comes and he breaks it up.
Another uncle?
Yes. So he's trying to take my coat. I had a puff coat.
What's a puff coat?
A puff bomber coat. Yeah. So he got my coat in his hand. This is after we done fought like 2 or 3 rounds already. So he's like, "Man, I'll take your coat. I'll take your coat." I'm like, "Man, you ain't about to take nothing." So he's walking away, and my Uncle Gangster is like, "Man, give him his coat." He gets the coat back. I got my coat. I'm walking away with my coat. He's still coming at me. So I turn around. I'm like, "Oh, you ain't had enough?" So we start fighting some more. So before we start fighting, he says something like, "Man, I'll take your chain." I'm like, "Yeah, right. Ain't nobody about to take nothing." So we start fighting again, and somehow he goes in my shirt and rips my chain and medallion off. So now I'm like, "Oh, I can't believe he done ripped my chain and medallion off." I'm like, "Give me my, man, why you tripping? Why you got my chain?" He like, "Man, it's mine now. I took this." I'm like, "You ain't take nothing." So puts it in his pocket. We fight and fight and fight. This fight must have went on for like 20 or 30. We would stop and rest, be out of breath, and fight some more. So finally, after I turned around and started fighting him like the 3rd or 4th time, my Uncle Gangster is like, "Well, y'all
What's
do
his
whatever."
name?
His name is Gangster.
Your uncle's name is Gangster?
Yeah.
His mother gave him that name? Or is that just what they call him?
We gave him that name.
What's his name?
Gangster.
Okay, so Wayne came out and broke up this brawl.
Yeah, he broke it up one time. He usually break it up every time we fight. He usually break it up. But this time, after I start fighting him again, he was like, "Well, y'all do whatever. Just don't come in the house. Y'all keep this out here."
And where's your chain?
In his pocket.
Okay.
It's in his pocket. So I'm trying to get it out of his pocket. So we wrestling and fighting and everything. And then finally, when I almost got it out of his pocket, I could have choked him out. One time I'm on his back. I was behind him. I could have choked him out. I'm like, Uncle Tony, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to hurt you, man. I ain't trying to get hurt. Just give me my chain. And he was drunk, he was drunk. He was just going through it. So finally I let him go. Then he took the chain out of his pocket and put it in his shoe. Now I had a few other witnesses that were going to come, but somehow they got scared out of coming.
So what happened after he put your chain and the medallion in his shoe?
I said, look, man, give me my chain or I'm gonna hurt you for real. It's gonna go to another level. He's like, man, do what you gotta do. So it was a champagne bottle about somewhere in the gutter laying down, and I went and got it. I cracked the bottle and I went after him, and then my Uncle Gangster, they let him in the house. Well, they let him in the gate. They say they didn't let him in the house, but my aunt and uncle always, they're the only ones in the family that can control him. So I figured that they were gonna get my chain and medallion. So after he went in the gate, I was like kind of relieved because they had him. So I went home. And then the next morning, I talked to my little cousin. They told me it was a girl named Kim he sold a chain to. So I don't know what happened to the medallion, but they know.
Mr. Gibson, had you been drinking that day?
No, I haven't. Not that day.
Talking about that day.
Not that day, I haven't.
How old are you?
31.
How old is he?
About 50, I don't know.
Old.
Not that old. No. He's a couple years older than me.
How old are you?
35.
35. So if you knew he was drunk, and you say he was drunk, right?
He's always drunk.
So he's always drunk.
I stay away from him.
Just listen to what I'm saying to you.
When I see him in the house, I left.
Listen to me. If you know he's drunk, and he's acting like a fool, why don't you just leave?
I did.
No, you said you fought with him. You took time. You rested. This thing lost 20 minutes and 30 minutes, and you rested. You got to yourself, and then you went back and you duped it out again, and then you
started fighting.
rested. Why didn't you just leave? Get in the car. Leave. When Uncle Gangster came out, say, hold on to him. I'm getting in my car, and I'm leaving. I'm just talking about common sense.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Johnny Ray Gibson says during a fist fight with his uncle, Anthony Gibson, a gold chain and medallion were ripped off his neck. Johnny claims his uncle sold the jewelry.
Where's his chain?
I don't have his chain.
No, I know you don't have it now. I asked you, where is it?
I did not take his chain.
I know where it is.
Judge Judy, I didn't take his chain.
I know.
Me and the man got into a fight, true and all. Okay, I left my sister's house. She was in the driveway.
Why'd you leave this?
No, Mr. Gibson. See how quiet he was? That's how quiet you have to be.
He was in the driveway talking to his girlfriend. Okay, yeah, I had been drinking. So I had to go to
Why do you drink so much, Mr. Gibson?
It wasn't that much.
He got a chemical imbalance, too. He can't even handle it.
Why had you been drinking so much?
I had not been drinking that much.
What time of the day was this?
It's like about 9 in the evening.
All day, he'll start it.
But I had not been drinking all day. Okay? Yes, I had been drinking, and I was a little wobbly. So I said, I was attempting to ask Nina to take me to Crenshaw.
After you had busted the window out of her car?
No, that's an old.
But this was after you had broken the window out of
Yeah, and paid for
9 days.
This was after I broke out the window and paid for it and replaced it and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I've been a stand-up man all my life. If I do wrong, I pay for what I do wrong. But I'm not going to be falsely accused. But at the same time, in essence of this here matter, okay, I attempted to ask Nina for a ride to Crenshaw. Johnny came over from where he was talking to her and pushed me. Went back over to her side of the car, okay? When I walked over to ask Johnny why did he put his hands on me, Johnny socked me in the jaw. Nina said, no, don't do that stuff, you know what I mean? Don't do that. She started up her car and left, okay? Me and Johnny, we got to fighting. We wrestled to the ground a couple of times. When I came up off the ground, I noticed that my watch was gone and my wallet, okay? It was 5 other people out there. I can't assume who picked up my wallet or my watch or what have you. Whatever this man is accusing me of taking from him, I did not take. You know, I have a drug history. I used to smoke cocaine. You understand me? I done drank, and I still drink. You understand me? But that was my past. I don't smoke cocaine no more. I just got out the penitentiary on the 2nd of June. I've been out on the street 11 months. I have not broke no laws. You understand me? Me and this guy do not see eye to eye. Me and his daddy have had animosity against one another. I guess he feels he has to step up and be his dad's son and challenge me on every aspect that he gets a chance on. You know, I whooped him, as an uncle should do to him disrespecting me. Well, okay, he can say he whooped me. Okay, yeah, okay, you whooped me, whatever. It don't matter. He's lying. I did not take a medallion. I did not take a gold chain. If I took a gold chain, if I took a medallion, I'd say, yeah, I took it, punk. Just like that, because that's how I am. Now you get it back the best way you can. I did not take nothing from this man. Anybody in my family knows me. I'm a crook, yes, I have stolen, but I will say I stole it.
Thank you.
I took it. I'm not trying to paint no pretty picture here. I'm not trying to make you believe that I'm somebody that I'm not. I didn't take nothing from this man.
How many people were outside when you were brawling?
About 5 or 6 other people out there, gangbangers, known gangbangers.
Yeah, and they would have
known gangbangers. That's why they didn't come up in here to witness. They ain't gonna come and testify to family altercation. Be for real. You know any crooks gonna testify against a crook? Huh?
You say that he sold this medallion.
Yes, ma'am.
To Kim.
She's in jail.
Another crook. See?
Who told you that he sold it to Kim?
My little cousin and her mama.
And why didn't she come and tell the judge that I did that there?
My family is.
Yeah.
Just a second. And her mother?
Yes.
What's mother's name?
That's one of my older sisters.
Okay. And what's their phone number?
You're scared now.
Now, they're the ones that told you that he had sold this to Kim?
Let me.
No, she said. Oh, excuse me.
Let me tell you something, Judge Judy. Our family, we got one of the biggest family in Inglewood. The next morning when I woke up, everybody in the whole family knew that he had sold it to Kim. You know, it was just those were the ones that.
I want to know. You told me that
they were the ones that told me. They the ones that told me, but it was a known. My daddy knew.
Just a second. You're telling me that was the one who told you?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you supposed to be taking medication?
I used to, but I don't need it anymore.
He's crazy.
Shh. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Johnny Ray Gibson says during a fist fight with his uncle, Anthony Gibson, a gold chain and medallion were ripped off his neck. Johnny claims his uncle sold the jewelry.
Okay, so I spoke to both and Johnny says, sir, that she did discuss the chain with you the next day, but that it was you who told her that the word in the family was that he had sold the chain to Kim. She didn't tell that to you, you told it to her. Now you want to tell me who else in the family had told that to you?
Let me just say something right now, Judge Judy. My family is not about to tell on him. You know, I come from a family of gangsters and stuff like that. I'm sure you probably, can't really understand, but ain't nobody about to tell on him. But bottom line, he did it. He did that.
Did you make a police report? I'm just asking you. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No, I didn't make, ain't no, no.
So you didn't?
I
didn't think so, but it's my responsibility to ask.
No.
Okay. Where did you get this chain and medallion from?
I got the chain from Inglewood swap meet, but I got the medallion first when my grandma died. I went up north, and my little brother gave it to me. My little brother's like 21, 22. He gave it to me.
What does it look like? Is it a gold medallion?
It was a gold medallion with 31 surrounded by 31 diamonds. It was 2.45 carats.
Can I see it, please?
Okay. Here goes some pictures of it. There, there, there. If you notice in every photo, when I had it on, where I was in my underwear, sleeping, I had it on. Just waking up.
How much did you purchase the chain for at the swap meet?
Oh, here's the receipt. I got them a chain. It was really a little cheap chain, $170.
You work, Johnny?
Yes, I do.
Have you been working, Tony?
No, I'm on a fixed income.
From?
SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
It's crazy.
Shh. I didn't ask you.
I don't function as well as other folks do. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you get alcohol in the system.
Are you supposed to be taking medication?
I used to. When I was in Patton, I took some medication. I was taking Haldol and a Cogentin, you know, but I don't need it anymore.
You don't need it anymore because you feel as if you don't need it, or because the doctor says...
They took me off of it. See, when I was in Patton, you know, it's a policy that you must take medication while in the hospital. That was due to one of my antics when I was, you know, doing things that I'm being falsely accused of here today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I didn't do what this man is accusing me of.
Your Honor, if I may say something, his whole history, his whole MO is doing this, taking stuff from people.
Listen to me. Johnny, I want you to pay attention. Do you believe that a mental disability is a disability? That you're sick, just as sick if you have a mental disability than if you have a broken arm or a bad liver or a bad kidney?
This man is sane as me and you, Judge Judy.
You just told me a moment ago.
He's crazy, but
he's crazy
when he has alcohol in him. But I kick it with him when he ain't drinking, he cool. He just like him or any other.
But that's, listen to me, but then that's a problem.
I already know he got a chemical imbalance when he drinks,
Right.
when he drinks.
So he was drinking.
That's why I left. I went right in,
but you got,
I walked right out.
Yeah, I know. But then you got into mixing it up with him, which you shouldn't have done, because if he's sick, if he's got a chemical imbalance, which is what you say, when he drinks, and you knew he was drinking, then you knew at that time he wasn't thinking clearly. He wasn't thinking clearly. It's just like any other illness, as if somebody hit him over the head and he was unconscious, because he's not himself. So then you, being straight, you were not drinking, you told me that day.
Yeah.
You just get away from it, but you got angry. That's why you mixed it up with him.
He broke the windshield 9 days before.
I understand that, but you told me he had been drinking.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Tony, listen to me. You get yourself into trouble when you drink. And according to you, you've been incarcerated at least once, right? Probably more. And you had a drug problem. And all of these things should suggest to you that you need some sort of assistance. You've been getting it from alcohol, you've been getting it from illegal drugs in the past. So if you should be on a Haldol, or you should be on some other kind of regimented medication, it's ridiculous for you, you know, to go through your life trying to find substitutes for what could very easily be a pill that you take 3 times a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. I think that your nephew here is just fed up. I don't think he did the right thing that day by not walking away.
I did.
But I believe that whether or not you remember it, you took his chain, something that he treasured. You paid $170 for the chain, and I'm going to give you $2,500 for the medallion. That's $2,670. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue. 26-year-old entrepreneur Corey Howard is suing his ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old waitress Christina Yancey, for keying his truck, vandalizing his home, and not paying for a ring. Christina's mother, Catherine, has a separate lawsuit claiming Corey broke into her home and set fire to her deck.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 179 on the calendar in the matter of Howard versus Yancey. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats, please.
I have 2 cases in this mishmash that I'm going to try to sort out. According to you, Mr. Howard, you and the defendant dated for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have certain complaints against her that date back to December
Yes, ma'am.
of 1999.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So let's deal with them. First, you claim that your now ex-girlfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
sometime in early December, was angry with you about something and she keyed your car.
Certainly.
Certainly. Then, after she keyed your car, a couple of days later, you had a fight and she vandalized your house.
Right.
And then you complain that in April, you bought her a ring.
Yes, ma'am.
So first she vandalized your car. Then she vandalized your house. And then you bought her a ring.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I mean, I'm trying to just follow the scenario here.
Okay.
And you claim that this ring that you purchased for her was not an engagement ring, and there was an agreement with her that she would pay for half of the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you want, half of the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me the circumstances surrounding her keying your car?
It was about 7:45 in the evening. She called me and said, I'm getting off work. Can you come and get me? So I go out to pick her up. She got in the car, and I said we were probably traveling for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. And out of the middle of nowhere, we're sitting at the red light, and she smacks me. And I'm like, what was that about? And she was like, because I think it was one of her friends indicated to her that they saw somebody in the car with me earlier that day.
Of the female persuasion?
Yes, ma'am. So I said, Chris, what are you talking about? I've been at work all day. What are you talking about? So I proceeded, because I had to go back to my office to pick up one of my employees. So I went back to my office. I got out of my truck. I went into the building. When I came back, one of my employees said, she just keyed your truck.
No, I can't hear that, sir.
Huh?
Unless you have the employee here, I can't hear what somebody else said.
Okay. And I asked her, I said, did you just key my truck? She said, yeah.
So you asked her?
Yeah, I asked her, and she said, yeah, I keyed your truck.
Why'd you do that?
I didn't, Your Honor.
Did you say you had?
No.
Did you key it a little bit? Now listen, that's not saying he didn't forgive you.
Okay.
Because he might have forgiven you later, because he did buy the ring, right?
Right.
But you have to tell me the truth, because then if you tell a lie to me once, then I don't believe anything else that you say. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did you key his truck a little bit?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
Did you have any discussion with him about keying your truck?
No, not that I did it, but we discussed it.
When?
I don't remember the dates or whatnot, but I was driving his truck one day, and I noticed that it was dented and scratched up. And I said, you know, your truck is keyed up. And he said that he had no knowledge of it.
Okay. So after she said, according to you, that yes, she keyed your truck, what did you do?
I was angry about my truck, and I asked her, I said, you know, why do you always tear up my car when you're mad at me? My car doesn't do anything to you. You know what I'm saying?
And did you see her the next day?
As a matter of fact, I did, because I indicated to her, I said, well, my insurance company says if I know who vandalized the truck, then I have to file charges against them, you know? And she was like, well, I can't believe you're going to file charges against me. I'm not going to file charges against you.
So you signed a statement to the insurance company that you didn't know.
I never signed a statement. I didn't even file the claim, Your Honor.
You have pictures of the scratch marks?
As a matter of fact, I don't, because when we went to get them developed yesterday, they exposed them.
So you have no pictures?
No, ma'am, I don't.
You have an estimate?
No, I didn't, because
Fine, then let's move on from the truck. Let's move on to the house.
Okay.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I had some friends that came over. In particular, one of my friends that came over there, she suspected that I was messing around with. And that wasn't necessarily the truth.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, no, ma'am. Chris had really aggravated me that particular day. So I kind of wanted her to leave. But Chris is one of those people who just would not leave. All right? So I asked another young lady if she would take Chris out the house and go for a ride or whatever. And she said, yeah. So the young lady and Chris left and went for a ride. So I went upstairs to take a shower. Chris came back. She was ringing the doorbell. My instructions to the people who were at my house that particular night was, if Chris comes back, do not let her in. So when they refused to let her in, Chris broke the window.
Did you break the window?
I didn't mean to break the window, Your Honor.
So the answer is you broke the window?
Yes, I did break the window.
And how did you break the window?
Knocking on it. It was this thin window. I was knocking on the window. At first, I was ringing the doorbell. As I was knocking on the window, my hand went straight through the window. No cuts or bruises.
Okay. And then what happened?
Chris was pulling off in her car as I was coming downstairs. So we started to clean up all the glass. About 15 minutes later, Chris came back, and she stabbed my back tire out my car.
Did you see her do that?
As a matter of fact, I did, because I couldn't get out the house in time enough before she was able to get back to her car. And I did get back to her car, but she had rolled her window up and took off.
Were you really mad?
I didn't do that, Your Honor.
Didn't slash his tire?
No.
If I might say something, Ashante was a witness to the fact that she did stab my tire.
Step up. Over there. You were there that evening?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me, where were you when you saw her slash the tire?
On the couch.
You were sitting on the couch?
Yes, because I heard somebody pull it back up. So I looked out the window because the window was already broken, so we was trying to fix it. She was getting out of her car, running up to the car, stabbing the tire, jumped back in her car and burrowed out. So, yes, Your Honor, she slashed the tire. I was there. I seen that.
Okay, so she slashed your tire.
Yes.
Did you have it fixed?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I did.
How much did it cost you?
It was approximately $148.47.
So you bought a new tire?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And you have a bill for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay, so you forgave her for breaking your window, you forgave her for slashing your tire.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Your Honor, I felt as if it was necessary to forgive her because, in many senses, it was inappropriate for me to have a guest at my house who should not have been there.
They're not necessarily guest.
Right. It was rather inappropriate for me to have her there.
Ex-girlfriend Christina Yancey keyed his truck and vandalized his home. Corey also says Christina owes him for the value of a ring.
So let me hear about it.
As far as he's saying about he had a female guest there, there was no one there but my best friend, Shantae, and Mr. Howard.
So what were you angry about? You did go for a ride with this young lady.
I didn't go for a ride anywhere. I stayed there, and then I left. I went to the store. I came back.
And when you came back, they wouldn't let you in.
They wouldn't let me in.
Why do you think they wouldn't let you in?
I have the slightest idea.
You have to have some idea, madam. Otherwise, they're acting in a psychotic fashion.
Well, there was another car. It was a car there. When I left, the car wasn't there. But when I came back, the car was there. It was another car there.
Another car there that you suspected was a woman's car?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, that, you know, something must have been going through your mind, madam. You're banging at the door with sufficient force to break a window. They won't let you in the house. You must have been pretty annoyed. He was your boyfriend, right?
You're right.
Okay. Did you ever have a discussion with her about the tire?
As a matter of fact, I did. And
I assume that you did. Yeah. Let me about the discussion about the tire.
Yeah. And she said the reason why I cut your tire was because you wouldn't answer the door.
Sounds right.
You know, and
Sounds right. Sounds right. Okay. I have the tire here on your side, sir.
Yes.
Let's get to the ring.
Okay. The very day that she purchased the bracelet that she's wearing right now, she said to me...
You were shopping together?
Yeah, we were shopping together.
Okay, so you went into a jewelry store.
We went into a jewelry store.
That's always dangerous.
Which was owned by one of my friends, okay?
Yes.
And she says, I want to buy... I had given her like $300 that particular day. And she said she
You gave her $300 in cash?
Yes, ma'am, while we were shopping, because we split up in the mall, so I gave her $300.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That was nice of you.
I was very nice to her, Your Honor. And what happened was, she came in the jewelry store, and she saw that very bracelet that she's wearing right now, and I said, I can't afford it, I'm buying me a ring. You know, I said, I gave you some money, so you buy it. So she went in her pocket and bought that bracelet. At the time, she says, oh, I want that ring right there. I can't afford that ring. I said, but if you split the cost with me, I will buy the ring. And she agreed to split the cost for the ring.
How much was the ring?
I think the ring was like wholesale. I got the ring at a wholesale value, so I think it ended up being like $4 something. You know, but the retail value on it was like $1,000.
I don't care what the retail value is. How much did you pay for the ring?
I didn't pay anything, Your Honor. When we met up, he took me to the jewelry store. He had a diamond ring in his hand. He said, do you like this ring? I said, oh, yes, it's beautiful. He's like, do you want it? I was like, yes. He put it on my finger. He paid for the ring.
Well, he says he paid for the ring, but he says that that was sort of extra. He'd given you $300 and you saw something that you liked for over and above. You said you'd split the cost with him.
This is what I saw that I liked it, the tennis bracelet, which was $99.
Right.
I paid for it out the money he bought me.
So you're wearing that, right? You're wearing the tennis bracelet. Where's the ring?
I lost the ring, and I told him that.
That's not what she told me, Your Honor. She indicated that she had placed the ring in a jewelry box in her room, and she said that her mother's boyfriend had went into the room and stole the ring when she was not at home. And I said, how did your mom's boyfriend steal the ring when you're not at home?
Did you buy her a new one?
As a matter of fact, I did, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, I did buy her a new one.
What?
I thought you were psychic.
It says that here.
So I went back to my friend Tony and I said, Tony, you know that ring I bought? I said, do you have another one just like it? Well, of course, this ring was a very nice ring.
All right, so you got her another one.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's the other one that he got you?
It's at home, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. She didn't offer to pay for half of that one.
No, she didn't, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so far what I have on your side, sir, it's $148.47. Because if you were really interested in getting half the money back for this original ring that you bought, you wouldn't have bought her another one. right?
No, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, well, it's necessarily true. So on your side is $148.47 because she slashed your tire. Madam. Okay. Now that takes care of that case. Now, I want you to stand over there.
Okay.
You to sit down over there. And I would like Miss Catherine Yancey right over there. Party's been sworn?
They've already been sworn, Judge.
Good, thank you. Now, you're her mother.
Yes.
It is your complaint that Mr. Howard vandalized your house and later set it on fire. And that, according to you, happened on the 6th of June.
Yes.
Of 2000. So, let me hear about it.
I came home from a meeting approximately 9:30 in the evening. My daughter told me that Corey Howard came to my house looking for her, said that he broke my front window. He went to the car and got a tire iron or hammer or something and broke the front window. So I was going to the police station to make a report, and he pulls up on the side street. So I pulled next to him to ask him, why does he keep coming to my house? Why does he keep coming around? He said that he wanted everything that he ever bought for that B. Specifically, he wanted this ring. So I asked her where the ring was. She told me she lost the ring. He said that she told him that my boyfriend stole the ring. And I told him that that was ridiculous. I didn't want to hear anymore because there's no way that my boyfriend would steal a ring.
She's a fibber, you know, your daughter. She's a fibber.
Okay, well, I know my boyfriend would not
No,
steal
I
a ring.
understand that.
So I took off to go to the police station. He followed me on my bumper, you know, trying to intimidate me. We continued to the police station to make the report. When I came home from the police station, my deck had been set on fire. Neighbor across the street said he saw.
Don't tell me what your neighbor across the street said unless that person is here to testify. Step up next to your mother, please. Let me just hear about the broken window.
Well, me and Corey, he called, and he was like, you know, do you want to hook up? And I was like, no. He's like, why? Asking me why, and my phone hung up on him. I was on the porch with my neighbor at the time. He pulled up. I ran in the house because I didn't know what he was going to do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She says, you didn't have to give me the money for the abortion because my real baby daddy gave me the money for the abortion.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Yancey claims her daughter's ex-boyfriend, Corey Howard, broke into her home and set fire to her deck.
And then what happened?
He's ringing the doorbell. B, come out of here. You better bring your butt out of here. Cussing, just making a lot of ruckus. I'm looking out the window from my room, and I see Corey pop his trunk and get like a tire thing out. He proceeded to walk towards the house with this thing in his hand. At that point, I ran out the back door, over the fence and next door to my neighbor's house. When I was outside, I heard a slash noise. Finally, when he did pull off, I went back to my house next door. My mother's stained glass window was broken.
Did you do that?
No, ma'am, I did not break the window. As a matter of fact, on the particular day that she claims that I broke the window, I was in a staff meeting with all 4 of my sales managers on that particular day.
So you're telling me that not only didn't you break her window, but you didn't see her mother that day either. So her mother's lying too. You didn't even see her mother?
I did see her mom that day.
Driving away from her house?
No, I was not driving away from her house when I saw her mother.
Where were
Okay,
you?
as a matter of fact, maybe I should just tell how all of this originated. I was out on vacation, all right? Christina called me the whole time I was in New Orleans, okay? Christina says, I'm pregnant. I want you to give me $300 to have an abortion. I said, Christina, I'm not giving you anything, okay? First of all, because I'm not the only person you're sleeping with, okay? On this particular day, Christina called me, and she says, I just called you to tell you that you didn't have to give me the money for the abortion because my real baby daddy gave me the money for the abortion. I said, hey, ain't no problem, wasn't no sweat off my back. You understand what I'm saying? Even though I was angry and infuriated, okay, I was just really upset, you know. I passed by her house. I was on the phone with Christina. We got into an argument. I did not break the window. I did not set their house on fire or whatever.
To get a house on fire, there are no witnesses to you setting a house on fire. She says she saw you break the window.
I did not break a window.
Did you bang on her door?
As a matter of fact, I did not, Your Honor, because I never went to her house. I'm not
As a
going to
matter
lie.
of fact, okay. How much did it cost you to fix the window?
I haven't had the window fixed yet.
So you have no estimate?
Yeah, I have estimates of the fire damage.
I'm not interested in the fire damage. You have no witnesses with regard to the fire damage.
Okay, what I do have is police reports where my witnesses did give a report to the police.
That's insufficient in court. What's sufficient is that you have a witness.
And
in
I also
presence.
have phone numbers that they said you may be able to call. Both of the witnesses are there.
No. That's a far too serious issue to make a determination by picking up a phone.
Will you not take the police report with arson report?
Oh, absolutely not. Did they arrest him?
No, they won't arrest him.
Of course they won't arrest him. If you had a witness that the police found believable that witnessed him committing arson, they would have arrested him. Arson is a very, very serious felony. Do you understand? You have an estimate for the window.
It has the fire and the window. Repair front stained glass window, yes.
That I'll see.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
The stained glass window was $75. Listen, I don't think that either one of you two young people would know the truth if it came up and bit you in the behind. I think that when you come to court and you testify in a court, the judge is supposed to be able to make a determination based on truthfulness. That's a hard thing when it comes to you two. However, I do find, madam, that you slashed his tire, and therefore he is getting the $148 that he spent to fix the tire that you slashed. And I do find, sir, that you broke a window. I can't make a determination that you committed arson, although that would be a really serious crime. But I do find that you did, in fact, break a window, and according to the estimate from our insurance, it's going to cost $75. So in your case, I'm awarding you $75, and on your case, sir, $148.47. Thank you. This case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy Obra is suing her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old truck driver Eric Reedy, for vandalizing her apartment and stealing her clothes. Eric is countersuing for unpaid loans.
Order. All rise.
Now, this is case number 180 on the calendar in the matter of Obra versus Reedy. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Reedy.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's try to make this as painless as possible, okay?
Okay.
Were you very angry with Miss Obra, with whom you were living?
Was I angry with her?
Mm-hmm.
Disappointed?
Disappointed because it wasn't working out?
She turned out to be a woman that I didn't think I was wanting to spend my life with.
And did she tell you that she didn't want to spend her life with you?
In hindsight, maybe she would say, and then she would change her mind. She's very
My
unpredictable.
question, Mr. Reedy, is, were you angry enough to trash her house?
No, ma'am.
You didn't do that?
No, ma'am.
What about her clothes, Mr. Reedy? Did you do anything with her clothes?
Her clothes? No, ma'am.
Nothing.
Nothing. I have no reason to take her clothes. What do I do with them? I mean, it's just a...
Well, sometimes you do that because you're really angry. Didn't do it. All right, Miss Obra, that's your lawsuit. Your lawsuit says that you and the defendant were living together for a brief period of time.
Yes.
He made certain accusations against you, that you were cheating on the relationship, and then an incident occurred. You didn't go home that night.
Yes.
When was that?
That was on June 7th.
And you had received a telephone call from him?
Yes.
What was the telephone call?
He said that he knew I was cheating and that he was just moving out.
He was moving out?
Yep.
Had it been your apartment or his apartment?
Mine.
And what happened when you got home the next day?
I had my boss here, Monica, escort me home. The previous night we had gotten a fight and he pulled a knife and threatened to kill himself, and I had her escort me home, and my apartment was completely trashed. I do have pictures.
I'd like to see it. Have more than one?
Yes. If I may say that he knows me very well, and he knew that I loved my clothes, I loved my music, and my astrology. And he shredded my astrology books, smashed my stereo, and took every single article of clothing. I mean, everything. Dirty clothes, socks, underwear, bras, everything. Jackets, dresses, every last article of clothing I had.
If you notice in one of the pictures as well, where the drawers are empty, all of my daughter's shoes remain, and in the little holes where mine were are all gone. He also urinated all over my bathroom.
Step up.
Yes.
You escorted the plaintiff to her house?
That's correct.
What kind of job does she do for you?
Melissa's my customer service agent.
What kind of business is it?
It's an air freight trucking company.
How long has she been working for you?
She's been working there almost a year.
Tell me about the conversation you had with her when she asked you to escort her home.
Well, it was a very brief conversation. She just said that Eric had moved out of the apartment and that she was afraid that he might still be there, or she really didn't know what to expect, but she wanted someone to escort her home. And I offered to do it since I used to live in Torrance and I was visiting my grandmother that afternoon, so it was very convenient for me to go down there at the same time she was going home.
And would you describe the condition of the apartment when you got there?
You walked in, and as she mentioned, the stereo was right in the front of the door, and that had been trashed. Her tablecloth was trashed. All her clothes in the bedroom were missing, everything. Drawers were open. There was nothing left in the house.
Except your baby's things?
Yes, my daughter.
Your daughter was not living with you?
Yes.
Where was she the night before?
At the night before I went home, at her grandparents' house.
And where did you sleep?
At my friend Raquel's house.
Did you see any evidence that anybody had urinated all over the bathroom?
Oh, yes. We went through the house together. It was very evident.
Does anybody else have a key to your apartment?
No, the manager. And that's it. And it was locked when I got home. It wasn't open or ajar.
It was locked?
Yep.
Was it double locked or was it just single locked?
No, just the
it was
bottom.
closed?
Yep.
Was there any evidence of forced entry?
No, none at all.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
Do you have a police report?
I don't have it on me.
Were you contacted by the police?
Your Honor, I was woken up at about 11 o'clock at night when she had the police come to my house because I had moved back to my parents' house. I didn't even expect this. I wanted just to move on with my life, you know, just end this whole thing. She's a very vindictive woman. Okay, I haven't done anything but help this woman since I've met her 5 years. I've raised her daughter practically. Her daughter's never even around. She picks her up once every couple weeks. She goes on these binges, wants to hang out with her friends all the time, party all the time, doing drugs and things of this nature all the time. I couldn't handle it. I put up with it for 5 years. 5 years, on and off for 5 years. She calls my house, my parents' work, my dad's business, looking for my whereabouts.
Reedy.
She pages me.
Still?
Nonstop. Yes, I have a page on my page right now. It says 911 on there. She paid me. If I'm this bad of a person, why does she continue
When
on
did
trying
you get that page?
Probably about a week ago.
What did you page him for?
911.
I did not page him. I did not page him.
I get contacted by this woman. She calls my house, harasses, tells me that she's gonna make my life miserable. I just want
When
to
was
make
the last time she called you?
About a week ago. I didn't answer the phone. It was my mom answered the phone.
Just a second. Are you telling me that a week ago she called your house and spoke to your mother?
She spoke to my mother, my father. She calls his business all the time.
That was a week ago.
A week ago.
Are you telling me that you did not make those calls?
No.
You did
I
not?
did not.
You never spoke to his mother a week ago?
Not a week ago. No, I didn't.
2 weeks ago?
In the beginning of June, when this incident first happened, I did.
No, not the beginning of June. 2 weeks ago?
No.
So the last time you might have spoken to his mother was maybe 6 weeks ago?
Yes.
Before this incident happened or after?
No, after. I was trying to see if they can talk him into giving back my stuff. And I also, at 11:30 at night, I did bring the sheriff's department over to his house to keep the peace because I didn't want it to get out of control, just to see if he could give back my stuff.
Your Honor, this...
Now you say she called your mother a week ago.
She's called my... a week ago, could have been a week and a half ago, but she's called on
What was the conversation that your mother reported to you that she had with her?
My mom had told me, Melissa had called. She had called my dad's office looking for me, trying to get in contact with me. And I had told her, I said, when she calls, hang up the phone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Says her ex-boyfriend, Eric Reedy, vandalized her apartment and stole her clothes. Eric denies the charges.
Well, did she speak to her?
Did my mom speak? My mom's spoken with her a week ago. Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. She's told me a week ago.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. She called every week, every day for about 3 weeks in a straight.
What's your mother's phone number?
514.
Just a minute. And your mother's last name?
Mrs. Maria Reedy.
Now, you say that she called your father as well. When was the last time she called your father?
It was probably about 2.5 to 3 weeks. I know it was before I had lost my job because she had, and this person right next to her, they had, I was working for a truck, I'm a truck driver, okay? I got a DUI or not DUI, a wet reckless in '96, and that haunts my record. They had threatened, because I had moved out, she had threatened to call my job and fax them my 10-year DMV printout because insurance won't insure me with a wet reckless that haunts you. Well, they had went ahead. I was already working there for about a month. They knew about it, but they had put, I guess, toward the board or whatever they went ahead and did, and I had lost my job because they had faxed him a DMV printout. And
did you fax his boss a DMV printout?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Do you know about a DMV printout?
No, but I know that he does have 2 DUIs.
2 DUIs?
But how am I able to?
2 DUIs?
I'm not able to get a DMV printout of somebody
What makes you think
else's.
she did that?
Because she had threatened me when she called me up one day when I was at work. She called me and she said, listen, she goes, I'm going to make your life miserable. I'm going to call your job. I'm going to call
Was this after the clothing incident?
After supposedly I took her clothes.
Okay. Is this Mrs. Reedy? Mrs. Reedy, this is Judge Judy Scheindlin. How are you this afternoon? I just have a brief question for you. Something has come up in this lawsuit that I am trying involving your son and Miss Obra. Can you tell me when the last time you spoke with Miss Obra? Was it after your son had moved back home? It was? Okay. Tell me about the conversation that you had with her, that 6 a.m. telephone call. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the last time you spoke to her was 2 to 3 weeks ago, you think? Okay, well, you were most helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye. So I come away with several things from speaking to your mother. First of all, your mother says that, to the best of her recollection, the last time she spoke to Miss Obra was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, not last week. And the conversation occurred at 6 o'clock in the morning when you called there. Do you remember that? Calling about 6 o'clock in the morning?
Possibly.
And you spoke both to Miss Reedy and to her husband?
Yes.
Now, that conversation was about her clothes, asking for her clothes. So there's no question that she has a legitimate belief that you, in fact, took her clothes. Mm-hmm. Your mother is delightful. Your mother says that she checked the clothes are not in your house. That doesn't mean you didn't take them and throw them in a ravine someplace, ditch them, throw them in a sewer or whatever on your way home. I don't think, Mr. Reedy, that you would have been stupid enough to bring them back to your house. That would have been ridiculous. There is no evidence of forcible entry into the apartment. The apartment was locked when she got there, which means that anybody who entered that apartment had a key, since there was no forced entry. All of those things beginning to make sense to you, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, ma'am, but on the concern with her clothes, she had almost most of her stuff moved out pretty much, because she had told me the day, she said, you know what, I'm going to be I don't want to be here no more, and I said, that's fine. She goes, I'm going to tell the landlord I'm going to put in a 30-day notice. She had clothes, I guess, over her friends, because she wasn't coming home at all. She had her clothes.
That made you pretty mad.
Huh? No, I realized it was not a type of person I wanted to be with. She runs away from everything. She just has...
I got you, Mr. Reedy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was writing checks for $650, and she would always say, I'll pay you next week when I get a check. I'll pay you next week. I was paying the rent. I was paying groceries. I was
Mr.
paying all
Reedy,
the bills.
you're doing a fast dance, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Obra says after she broke up with former boyfriend, Eric Reedy, he trashed her apartment and stole her clothes.
You have a counterclaim for $1,325.
Yeah.
Is your claim that on February 2nd of 2000, you loaned Melissa $1,000 for a car she wanted?
Yeah.
And then you say in April of 2000, you gave her a second loan for $650 for rent.
Yes.
I want you to first tell me about the car loan.
Okay, on that previous date, she had expressed that she needed a new car because of so much mileage on her old car, and I understood. I had just bought a new car myself, and she wanted another car. And
Did you take $1,000 from him?
Yes, it was a gift for Valentine's Day because he got a $40,000 settlement.
Your Honor, I have the check with the check says car loan on there, and this is the type of things I've been going through, just lying
Well, Melissa,
all the time.
Valentine's Day came and went. You're no longer together. You think you should give him back $1,000?
No, I think it was a gift.
What did you get him for Valentine's Day?
I took him to dinner and a dozen roses that night.
Dinner and a dozen roses isn't $1,000. What about the $650?
For the
That's
rent.
a lie.
I have the check right here, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please?
On the bottom of that car loan check, it says car loan specifically, and with her name signed on the top.
Well, the problem with this, sir, is I don't know when you wrote in car loan. You can't tell from this.
Well, I got...
Look at me, Mr. Reedy. Do you know what I'm saying to you, sir? She says it was a gift for Valentine's Day. It's on February 13th, which is the day before Valentine's Day. So, is it a possibility? Yes. Do I find that she should give you the $1,000 back? Yes.
Can I also say as well that the reason why he got me that gift was because for 8 months he was using my car to go to his trucking school.
Okay. $650, Madra Enterprise.
That's our rent place.
How much is your total rent?
$650.
Okay, who was paying the rent?
We were both halving it. I gave him cash, and he gave check. He
I have
would
bank
give
statements,
me
Your Honor, that
$300.
show that I wrote the check for. I would write the check, and usually she would give me a check back.
Just a minute. Just a minute. If the whole rent was $650,
Yeah.
and you wrote out the check for $650, right, for that month,
Yeah.
and you say she gave you $325.
She gave me $325.
She gave you $325.
Yeah.
That would mean $325. The other $325 was your share of the rent.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, Your Honor, is this was going on. I was writing checks for $650, and she would always say, I'll pay you next week when I get a check. I'll pay you next week. I was paying the rent. I was paying groceries. I was
Mr.
paying all the
Reedy,
bills.
you're doing a fast dance, sir. Pay attention to what I'm
Yeah, I
saying and
understand
what
what
you
you're
wrote down here in your counterclaim. I gave her a second loan of $650 for the rent.
Yes.
She promised to pay it back the following Friday, but only gave me $325. $325, which would have been her half of the rent.
I expressed it wrong. That's
Okay,
all.
well, you expressed it wrong. I can't help you. Now, how are you going to establish the value of this damaged and stolen property?
I mean, I don't know if you know how it is to have every single article of clothing taken away from you, and all you're left with is the clothes on your back.
Well, but I don't know if you spent $5,000 on a wardrobe, madam. Show me any bills, any receipts for clothing. Any. I have to find some way of assessing damage.
I don't.
Did you go out and replace any of the clothing?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any receipts for that?
No, I don't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Opportunity, inclination are two things that the court can consider in making a determination as to whether an incident occurred. You certainly had the opportunity to take her property and to leave the house in the state in which it was left. The inclination that I find that you also had was because this romance was ending badly. According to you, she was going out at night, not telling you where she was, taking off for weekends, and you clearly didn't like that. The person who took all of this property left the child's clothing intact. Child's clothing and the child's shoes intact, which leads me to believe, Mr. Reedy, that Miss Oprah did have a loss of property and that more likely than not, you were in fact responsible for taking her clothes. I believe you did not take them to your mother and father's house. I believe that they are probably in a dumpster someplace. So I am going to attribute $3,500 for your clothes, and from that I am deducting $1,000 for the car loan that he made to you, and I am issuing a judgment on your complaint for $2,500, not the $5,000 that you are requesting, because, sir, on your counterclaim, I am awarding you $1,000. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
23-year-old receptionist Rebecca Olivencia is suing 25-year-old Stephanie Henry for damage to her car during a fight outside a men's prison.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 135 on the calendar in the matter of Olivencia versus Henry. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Olivencia, it is your claim that the defendant, who you hardly knew if you knew at all, on 2 separate occasions assaulted you and attacked your car. For some reason, you are only suing for the attack on your car. The defendant says it was you who assaulted her and her car, but you have no counterclaim. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, where did this happen the first time?
First time, it happened on May 11th at the Worcester County jail.
At a jail. What were you doing there?
I went to go drop off my friend Janika at 6 o'clock, and I went to pick her up at 8.
What was she doing there?
She went to go see her boyfriend.
Had you ever seen the defendant before May 11th?
I've seen her like 2 times.
Did you ever speak to her?
Never.
Okay. So did this initial assault occur on the way going to the jail or when you went to pick up your friend?
When I went to go pick her up.
Who was with you?
My cousin Maria was with me and her daughter.
And now you can tell me what happened.
Okay, I was sitting in the car waiting for her, for Janika to come out. Stephanie Henry then comes out of the jail and approached me, started yelling, cursing at me. Anyways, I noticed she was getting hostile, so I turned on my car, and I was going to turn around to go, and that's when she pulled my hair, started slapping me.
How did she pull your hair?
How did she pull my hair? From this side. She approached me. I was in my car.
And the window was open?
The window was open, yep.
So she came and she pulled your hair. What else?
I was sitting in the car, she pulled my hair, and I tried to get her away from me. My cousin was screaming. The correctional officers came outside. They ran outside. They tried to separate us. At that point,
How did they try to separate you? Were you still in the car?
I was still in the car, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, they tried to separate her because she was holding on to me. So then she runs to the car and kicks my headlight and breaks it. And they witnessed that. They banned us from being there ever again. And we just went home.
You have a report from them?
I have a report from the Worcester Police Department.
May I see it? What's this blackened out part?
Well, because they don't let me see what, where she lives, or the police station did that.
This says that you talked about a group of males that surrounded your minivan.
That was afterwards.
Was that at a different location?
Different location.
Okay. Because I know there were 2 incidents. All right, so after she was separated from your car and she kicked your headlight in, did she leave or did you leave?
I left.
And your friend, did you wait for your friend?
She never came out.
All right, Miss Henry, you want to tell me about this incident?
Yes, Your Honor. I was coming out of the administration building like everybody has to do. You leave out of the administration building. I was standing there holding my 1-year-old son in my left hand, okay? I was waiting for my son's godfather to come pick me up. I was standing there. A woman walked by me. I did not have any cigarettes on me at the moment, so a woman handed me a cigarette. I was smoking a cigarette with my right hand and had my son in the left.
That's nice.
I noticed Miss Olivencia walk in the building. I noticed they came out and went into the car with another girl and a young child. Then I noticed she came out of the car and went back into the building. I don't know, I assume it was to look for Miss Cruz, but she went back in the building, she came back out, she got in the car. She proceeded to drive away. Okay, at this moment, I'm standing there smoking a cigarette, holding my son. I flick the ash on my cigarette. She reverses, does a 3-point turn, comes back, and says, "Excuse me, what was that?" A curse word. And I said, "Excuse me, I don't know you, and I have never met you before, and if I had something to say to you, I would address you and let you know." Therefore, I'm holding my son, drive away and have a nice day. I spoke to her nicely the first time. She started cursing at me, calling me these rude names, talking about she knows who I am, she knows where I live. I'm like, well, I have no idea who you are. I've never seen you before in my life. She then steps out of her automobile, comes over to me, approaches me with my child in my left hand, I remind you, and she's pointing in my face, and I'm like, you need to get in your car and drive away because I don't know you and I'm holding my son. And I don't play around like that with a baby in my hands. She kept cursing. She proceeded to get back in her automobile. As she was doing so, she grabbed my hair. I have a scratch right here. Unfortunately, Your Honor, I was unable to have my pictures developed to bring them here. For my evidence, I had a bruise on my knee, on my right knee, from the fact that when she had grabbed me by my hair and pulled me towards the car, my knee was hitting her door because she was pulling me. And of course, I'm going to defend myself with my child in my hands. And I'm going to try to get away because at this point, I didn't know if she was going to try to drive off while I'm holding my son, okay? No correctional officers came out and broke anything up. She drove off after she let go of my hair, and she went to turn again, and as she turned again, because you can't go to a certain point and restrict the area, you have to turn back and go out of the parking lot. She turned again, she came at me to try to hit me with my child. So I'm defending myself, moving out of the way, and as I move out of the way, my foot kicked her blinker, the tail light. I have a report from the Worcester County House of Correction saying that she did not care about the blinker, she didn't want to press any charges at that time, and that was the end of that. And I remind you, Your Honor, she was saying that she knew where I lived and that she would be there. Okay?
Ms. Olavencia, you indicated to me that your friend here, who you had dropped off in the morning, did not come out. That's what you just indicated to me, correct?
I dropped her off in the evening, 6 o'clock.
Or in the evening, and then went back to pick her up, and you said she...
And she did not come out.
Yep. Well, this report indicates that the one involved party was leaving in a gray Toyota, and the other party was standing in front of the administration building. I assume that was you.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop the gray Toyota. Is your car gray?
My car is like a tan.
What's your license plate number? That's the tag number. Bearing Massachusetts tags. And identify the operator as Rebecca Olavencia, that's you. A passenger in the vehicle was identified as Janika Cruz.
That is wrong, because my cousin was with me. And they took my cousin's ID. And they also know that Janika, yes, she did go
Just a
at
second.
6 o'clock.
Just a second. That's what the detective wrote, that the passenger in the car was identified as Janika Cruz. Step up here. Then he goes on to give me a whole story here about something about a boyfriend. Who were you there to visit?
I was visiting my boyfriend, my daughter's father.
What's his name?
Victor.
Do you know Victor?
He's a neighbor of mine.
Anything other than a neighbor?
No, well, he was. He can't remain in that building either.
Was he ever a boyfriend of yours?
No, Miss...
Was he ever a boyfriend?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Did you ever go out with him?
No, ma'am.
But you know him?
Yep.
So the connection between the two of you is through her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Damage during a fight with Stephanie Henry. Stephanie says she kicked the car because Rebecca wouldn't let go of her hair.
You knew her from this person who was never your boyfriend, who you
No,
never
we
dated.
know each other from her boyfriend, which is now my ex-boyfriend.
Ah, well, so we have somebody else.
Which is her boyfriend or her fiancé.
Who used to be your boyfriend?
Used to be my boyfriend about going on 3 years ago.
And did you like each other before this happened?
We didn't know each other. We met each other one time, and then from there we just couldn't get along. We fought when I was 6 months pregnant.
Who fought?
Me and Stephanie. From there, we didn't get along, whatever.
Did you know about this fight that they had?
I had no idea about it.
How long have you known her?
I've known her for a couple of years now.
How long is a couple?
About 2-3 years.
And when was this fight while you were pregnant?
1999. No, year 2000. I was 6 months.
Before this incident happened in May?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you were friends, you mean she didn't tell you that she was assaulted?
No, because we're not always together. We're not
She didn't
best
tell you
friends.
that she was assaulted?
No. I never knew about it.
That's unusual. This also says, Miss Olivencia, that you told the detective there that you did not wish to pursue the matter any further and did not care about the broken headlight.
That is not true. I never even spoke to that detective, as a matter of fact.
Olivencia states that she was attacked first by Henry, that's you, and didn't know who Henry was. She said that they just pulled each other's hair and exchanged words. Well, that's true. So there were a lot of things, according to you, that are wrong in here. Okay, now let's hear about the second assault.
Okay, the second assault happened after Janika asked me to go bring her to pick up her daughter.
Give me the date.
That was the same day. That was probably a half an hour later.
Okay.
I had told Janika, well, I don't know if I should go over there, but seeing that she's my friend and I was doing her a favor. To Piedmont Street, which is where she lives and which is where her daughter was at the grandmother's house.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I get there, and Janika steps out of the car, and then she shows up, Stephanie shows up in a car full of guys, like 4 guys. They all jump out of the car. They start cursing at me to get out of the car. I lock my doors. I roll my windows up. I told Janika, get in the car, because these people are getting crazy. Anyways, the guys are yelling at me, telling me to get out. It looked like they wanted to fight me. So then one of them puts on a bandana around his face. And the only thing showing was his eyes. And then he started like putting his hand in his pocket, like if he had like a gun or something. Anyways, my cousin started going nuts. She started screaming. She was making me nervous. I told Janika, get in the car. Janika wouldn't get in the car. She was trying to talk to them. And I just took off. When I was taking off, she ran to my car and she kicked the side of my door. And I rode right to the police station and I told them about it, and that's when I seen the damages that she did to the door.
I'll hear you.
Okay, Your Honor. Can I continue with the ending? Okay. Like I said, after she let go of my hand, she pursued to try to hit me with my child. And she turned around and tried to go.
You told me that. You told me that you were protecting yourself and you kicked it in her taillight.
Yes,
ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
And as she was driving off, like I said, her friend, the passenger, her cousin, she claims, threw a large amount of hair out the window and said, "Here's your hair, B," calling me the B word, and drove off. Okay. Then after that, one CO came over to me. He asked me for my identification, to look for warrants, to check our records and everything, and then they had pulled her over, and they were speaking with her down the street, okay? My son's godfather had came and picked me up with his friend, okay? And they brought me home, and by the time I got to my apartment building on Piedmont Street, Miss Cruz, Miss Olivencia, her cousin, and some black, I don't know who the black female was surrounded my neighbor, who is a friend of mine who also was going to be a witness, appeared here. They surrounded her with her 7-year-old son behind her.
Why, you saw this?
No, as we pulled up, we seen them, yes, and they all scrambled in the car.
You just want to tell me what you saw.
As we pulled up, we seen all 4 of the girls surrounded my friend, my neighbor, with her son with her. And as we pulled up, my son's godfather jumped out of the car, and he said, "Who tried to attack Stephanie holding her son?" And I told him it was the driver, and he said, "Get out of the car. Why did you try to attack her holding the child?" We wanted to call the police and hold her there because she was at my place of residence, and Miss Cruz does not belong there either. I have no trespassing on her.
So according to you, somebody, one of your friends, went up to her and told her that she had no business being around your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Your block. And then what happened?
And there were 2 other neighbors that had came up from the neighborhood. There were 2 other neighbors that came up from the neighborhood. And Miss Olivencia was cursing at one of them, calling him stupid, and saying things to the person. And he got very upset.
Where was she sitting or standing when
she was in her car with her window down a little.
Okay.
And she was telling him, "Shut up." He was stupid, cursing at him. And he was the one that damaged her car. I don't know who. He's a neighbor. He lives in the neighborhood. I don't know his last name. I spoke with Janika Cruz about this. She said she didn't want any involvement in this. I said, well, I don't know who they were, because she said that Mrs. Olivencia wanted it for her insurance company. And I said, well, I don't know who those 2 men were, because they were from the neighborhood. They were trying to help my other witness that was there, the girl that they surrounded that they tried to jump. They came out and they tried to stop them from jumping her.
She wasn't jumping anybody. She was in her car with the window rolled
Before
up.
she got into the car, Your Honor?
But then she was in the car.
Yes,
but then just listen to me. But then she was in the car. When she's in her car, she's not surrounding anybody.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, or whether you started to pull her hair, you went to her house. And that was stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rebecca Olivencia claims Stephanie Henry kicked her car during a fight outside of a men's prison.
You say you have a restraining order against her? Let me see it. So, Miss Cruz, there is a no trespass order against you for this housing complex.
Yes, there is.
So what were you doing there on May 11th?
She did that. I got that trespassing notice after the fact, and I called Stephanie back up, and she said, yes, I did it because of my boyfriend. Told her.
Just a second. When were you served with this notice?
I was served with that notice May 18th.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, after the fact.
You have any proof she was served with this notice before? It doesn't have a date on it.
No, Your Honor, they were waiting to serve that to her. They didn't know her location.
So they didn't serve it on her before May 11th?
No, they had it already for her.
Now, were either of you arrested as a result of these incidents?
No, ma'am.
No.
Did either of you file criminal complaints against the other?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I went right to the police station and I told them
And so
what
you
happened.
both did?
Yeah.
What happened with those cases?
We dismissed that.
Why?
All we did was pull hair and smack each other. That was it. I don't think we deserve to get a record over that. So.
And why did you dismiss it?
I have 3 children, Your Honor. It's very hard for me to go to court all the time with 3 children.
How old are your children?
7, 2, and 1-year-old.
Where is their father?
Mr. Wilfredo Ilaraza is incarcerated, and the other father I'm not with.
Can I see the damage for the taillight only, please?
Can I have the pictures of the
How
other?
many children do you have?
I have 1. I have the pictures of the other damage.
I'm not interested in the other damage. Okay. I have a feeling that both of you ladies deserve each other. You had no business being at her housing complex after this kind of incident.
True.
So whatever happened to you, you deserved. Do you understand? I mean, I'd like to throw you out entirely because it sounds to me as if you both behaved badly. But I find no excuse for you kicking her blinker.
Your Honor, I was trying to move away.
No, baloney. Full of baloney. Moving away, then you move away. Move away and kick is something else.
She tried to hit me, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Move away, walk to someplace safe when you have your baby in your hand.
my son.
Yeah,
and
I know.
my foot hit her
I
blinker.
understand. Believe me, madam. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Get out of here. Parts is $101. Body labor, $195.20. That you'll pay for yourself. Ridiculous. A, whatever you did to each other in that parking lot, you did to each other. Whether you started to pull her hair or she started to pull your hair, both acted like idiots. My problem is that after this altercation, you went to her house.
I didn't go to her house.
To her apartment complex. And that was stupid.
It was.
So if your car got damaged going to her apartment complex, you pay for it. You pay for your own stupidity. But I find that you had absolutely no reason to kick her car. I also find that this is an inflated estimate of repair. So I'm going to give you the cost of the parts, which is $101.26. You paid to have it fixed yourself. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff, $101.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue. Ollie Hunter is suing 40-year-old customer service rep Tawana Mosley. Ollie says Tawana's son, 11-year-old Devon Miller, broke her daughter's foot.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 214 on the calendar, the matter of Hunter versus Mosley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young folks, have a seat, please.
The mothers were not at this birthday party, is that right?
That's correct.
But from what I read, and I will speak to the children who were involved, you are suing Miss Mosley because, according to your complaint, the actions of her son caused your daughter to break her foot.
That's correct.
And you are suing her for $5,000 for sordid medical bills and, I assume, some part of that for pain and suffering. Is that right?
Correct.
Well, I have to figure out what happened. So I'd like the two of you to have a seat, please, while I speak to the children. You're Felicia.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you, Felicia?
I'm 12.
And whose birthday party was this?
One of the kids there, but I don't know their names. I was invited by my mom's friend's daughter.
And I gather that they had in the backyard one of these enclosed things where you go in and jump around?
Yes.
I've seen them. My grandchildren have them at their parties. And there's walls all around it. And kids sort of go in, they take off their shoes, and they jump around like crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in this apparatus, and Devon was there.
Yes.
How many other kids were in the jumping apparatus?
A couple of them, but some couldn't go in there because they were wet, because they were swimming.
So tell me what happened when you were inside.
Let me see. When I first went in there, I was jumping around, and Devon kept pulling me over, pushing me down, and Rachel down. I told him to stop, and he just kept on doing it. And then I told him to stop at the point where he stopped. Then what happened was he started saying, like, I want to pick my pillow, I want to jump on my pillow, and I love my pillow like an armadillo and things like that. And then he started...
He was just being a boy.
Yes, and then what happened was he was jumping on top of girls, and he was on top of girls, they were asking him to get up and all that stuff. And then other girls, they just didn't pay attention, they didn't let him off. So what I did was I dragged him off saying, get off of her, because that's not fair that he was on top of her.
So you went over where he was involved with another child, and you physically pulled him off.
Yes, I said, get off her.
No, listen to me. You physically pulled him off.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what happened next?
And then what happened was he started doing it to me. And then what happened
What do you mean he started doing what to you?
He started jumping on top of me.
Okay.
And then he started to do it more, and I told him to stop. Then he got on top of me and said, how come my pillow has such soft legs? I said, get off me. And then he started saying that, how come my pillow has such a big butt? And then I said, just get off me, back up before I slap you. It didn't feel right. He just was talking about my body and saying this and that. And then it just got to the point where I got mad and I hit him physically. And then...
Where did you hit him?
Hit him on the back, trying to get him off me. He was on top of me. I was trying to hit him on the back, right? Because I got so sick of it. I went to go get a drink of water. I stepped out the apparatus and I went to go get a drink of water. And there's so many kids, you know, I didn't notice that he was still in there. Then he was in there, and I said, oh, not you again. And then he said, I want to rape my pillow. I just looked at him like disgusted at him. And then what happened was some of his friends or some other friends, guys came in.
By this time, there were a lot of people in there.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Because we started out with just a few, now we got to a lot. There were a lot of people in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're still in there?
Yes.
Okay. You haven't gone out for your drink of water yet?
Yes, I have.
Did you go out and come back?
Yes, because I didn't notice that.
Just a second. So you went out and got your water, and then you came back.
I didn't realize that he was in there, ma'am.
Don't tell me what you realized. You went out, you came back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then what happened was his friends came in there, and then they started, like, tackling me and pushing me down, kicking me, punching me. And then I was just, like, on the balloon floor, and what happened was I got kind of fed up, and I got mad, and I started hitting them back. And then what happened was I got mad at a full adrenaline force. I just started hitting them back, and then I started hitting them back, and then okay. And then I just hit
Felicia, I want you to hold on a second.
Okay.
And try to compose yourself. You want to take some water?
Fine.
Okay. Now, Felicia, they were pulling you.
No, they were like hitting me, punching me.
Where were they hitting you and punching you?
They were like on the right side of the balloon. They started hitting me and pushing me. I don't know if the adults saw.
I'm not talking about pushing. That's what you do inside those things. You push everybody down and you jump on top of them. I mean, that's what that stupid thing is for. I'm talking about punching.
Yeah, they hit me. They kicked me. I saw Devon. They hit me. They were wrestling me like you do on TV. And then what happened was Devon.
That's his friends.
Right, and then Devon, he was doing flips on me. He missed me several times or more, and then he started coming at me, towards me, and I kicked him away from me. I pushed him because I got mad. I started hitting his friends in self-defense. And then when I was leaving, someone said, look behind you. I looked behind me. I saw a foot come at me. And so when I went to hit when I touched the ground, I saw my foot go like that and it bent. And while I was crying and suffering, they were all, I'm going to say a couple of curse words. Will you allow me? They're saying this is in trouble and call the ambulance and all that stuff and just making fun of me and laughing and just saying derogatory remarks at me. And then when they lifted me up and put me on a chair, I saw behind me and he was just playing a Game Boy. And he didn't even apologize.
And you got hurt and you broke your foot.
Yes, I had to get surgery.
Okay. Let's hear.
Well, everyone in the jumper was wrestling, and she came in and she asked could she play. So we started playing, and then, like, she got out because she said she didn't want to play anymore. And she came back in, and we were all wrestling. And we were having flip contests, and I accidentally hit her because she was in the way. And then
Who were you wrestling with?
Well, the guys were wrestling with the girls. And then I stopped wrestling with her. I started wrestling with my cousin. And I pinned my cousin on the ground. And then she came over and she dragged me and she said, get off, and she kicked me. And then everyone else started wrestling again. And like there was water and soap on the ground from the kids who were swimming. So it was slippery and she was leaving and I slid and I hit her. And she fell out and twisted her leg.
Well, when you slid and hit her, is that the exact moment that she fell down?
Yes.
So you did, in fact, kick her?
Yes.
And according to you, it was a little bit of an accident?
Yes, it was.
Maybe.
Judge Judy continues and says 11-year-old Devon Miller broke her foot while clowning around in a jumping apparatus.
How many times did she hit you? I'm not talking about playing around and pushing. I'm talking about hitting you.
About twice.
And how many times did she pull you off this other girl that you were on top of? Just once? Were you annoyed with her?
Kinda. I stopped playing with her.
But you were annoyed with her. Did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Yes.
Why did you think she was acting like a jerk?
Because I wasn't playing with her and she just started hitting me.
Because she was interfering. Is that right?
Yes.
So you thought she was butting into your business?
Yes.
I have a couple of other questions to ask you, Devon. So far, you've been very honest with me, which is in your favor. Were you saying anything to her about sleeping on your pillow?
No.
And did you say anything to her like that?
I didn't say anything to her. I told my cousin that she was my pillow.
Okay, but when you're playing, you're not whispering that to your cousin. You're sort of saying it loud, right?
Yes.
So she was right there, so she heard you. Devon, right?
Yes.
So far, you're doing okay, Devon. Don't let me down now. Did you say anything, Devon, about her having a soft part of her body?
No.
Nothing else about raping your pillow?
No.
Anything else that you would consider sexual?
No.
What? What does that mean?
I was thinking.
Well, think harder. You don't go to jail for this, Devon. This is just the time for honesty, okay? So let's hear.
No.
Nothing else?
Nothing.
Did you say anything to anybody else there about her of a sexual nature?
No.
You knew her from before this party?
No.
Or was it the party the first time you ever saw her?
First time.
Really? Did you know the other kids at the party?
Not
Some of them?
everyone.
What did you think of her, Devon, when she first started to play with you?
I thought she wanted to play because we were all wrestling and she just started playing.
Now, Felicia, why did you go back into the jumping apparatus when you left and went and got a drink if it was unpleasant in there?
I didn't notice that he was in there.
I know what these things look like. Unless there are 50 people in there, then you notice somebody is in there. Or you look if somebody has made your life unpleasant.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Right.
You know, you're 12?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're smart enough. If somebody's made your life unpleasant in there, you look. You say, I'm not going back in there because those guys are acting a little too wild. Because they were all acting a little wild.
That wasn't my fault.
Right. Okay, now I'll see the moms. No, I want your kids to stay up there. If you can stand, can you stand up on your foot, Felicia?
I can't put any weight on it.
No, I mean, but could you stay with your mom?
Yeah.
Or you want to sit down?
I'll stay.
Okay. All right, so you got to the party, took her, she was x-rayed, foot is broken. This happened late August, is that right?
Right.
And you have substantial medical bills?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have health insurance?
Yes.
What were your unreimbursed medical bills?
Well, to date, Your Honor, our medical expenses are approximately $9,157.92. And I don't know if that is the extent of that.
$9,000 if you have medical insurance is not going to be your bill.
Well,
Ms.
yeah,
Hunter.
that is the total. That's the total amount of bills that have come into the
That's not what I'm talking about, Ms.
Okay.
Hunter.
20. Okay,
You
I
have insurance.
That's correct.
And you are going to use your insurance because that's what insurance is for.
That's correct.
What kind of plan do you have?
20% of the contracted fees.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a $250 deductible.
Okay, let me see that, please.
Which, what, the bills?
I want to see the bills in your
Okay.
contract where it says that you're responsible for 20%.
Okay. Here are the bills. And this is a summary of our medical plan, and this is the plan that I'm under. I circled it.
Okay. So your office visits, you have the $10 copay, is that right, for your office visits?
Yes.
Okay, and the hospital, you have to pay 20% of your hospital bill.
Right.
So you had a hospital bill of $7,262, is that right?
That's correct.
And then you had orthopedic surgical?
Mm-hmm.
Was that done at the hospital or the doctor's office?
The doctor's office. That was for the cast.
Is your portion of that $10? You don't know that?
No.
I mean, there's a tremendous bill, but that's an
Right.
entire bill.
Right.
It says doctor's office visits are $10. When did this happen?
August the 26th.
Well, did you submit these bills?
They've been submitted to the insurance company.
Have you paid any of these
They have
bills?
not paid.
No, have you paid any of the bills?
No, I have not been billed for them.
Your problem, Ms. Hunter, is as follows. You want the defendant's mother to be responsible for $5,000, and I have no idea of what your out-of-pocket expenses are going to be.
Well, I'm not suing. I know that my responsibility will probably not exceed $2,000. That's the 20% that I'm responsible for. Now, beyond that, I'm suing Ms. Mosley for punitive damages for what the injury that her son has caused my daughter.
No. Listen to me. There are certain things that children do that I believe that their parents knew or should have known that they had that kind of propensity, and they allowed the child to, for instance, have access to a weapon, have access to a gun, have access to a knife, have access to certain things, then they are responsible. When you send your child to a birthday party and they choose and elect, at your daughter's age, she's a big girl, she's 12 years old, to go into an apparatus where kids are acting like fools, 12-year-olds, they're jumping all over each other. According to your daughter, she was the one who first put her hands on him. I mean, other than in play. She didn't like the way he was on top of another girl. She dragged him off. She slapped him at one point. Now, I'm absolutely certain that Devon, although he did a very stupid thing, didn't mean for your daughter to break her foot.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's
and I
what
fell.
kids do in that thing. You stay there for a long time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Felicia Hunter says she was harassed and assaulted by 11-year-old Devon Miller. She claims it resulted in a broken foot.
Now, Felicia.
Your Honor, I have something to say.
What?
Beginning when I first entered, he put his hands on me and on my legs, and then he pushed towards me.
That's
and I
what
fell.
kids do in that thing, Felicia. That's what you get in there for. You stay there for a long time. If you went in there and the kids were jumping around and pulling you down, at your age, you say, I don't like this kind of game. I'm going to go out and find something else to do with this birthday party if you didn't like that game. You know that. We're not playing pin the tail on the donkey here. You know, that's a nice quiet game that kids used to play. They don't play that anymore. Now they rent these big apparatus and kids go in there and they act like fools, but you're 12 years old. If it was getting too rough, you get yourself out of there. I'm not blaming you for breaking your foot, but I certainly don't believe that he intended to cause you to break your foot, or more importantly, that his mother had any notice or any knowledge that he was going to do something that day to injure somebody, and nor did she provide him with the apparatus to do it. You understand? If a parent, for instance, leaves a set of car keys in the car and leaves a 6-year-old in the car, and the 6-year-old manages to turn on the car and drive, and the car starts to roll and they injure somebody, then the parent is responsible for the action of the 6-year-old or the 8-year-old or the 10-year-old or the 12-year-old. But in this case, what proof do you have that this woman had any inkling that her son was going to do something like that?
Well, I don't, but she is responsible for the actions of her child.
Just a second. There you are right to this extent, Miss Hunter. There's no question that Devon here gave her a little nudge when she was getting out of the jumping station, right? You say it was an accident, you slipped on water. I'm not so sure, Devon.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I believe that Miss Mosley would be responsible for your unreimbursed medical bills. He caused the damage. Somebody's got to be responsible for out-of-pocket. And I believe that that should be Miss Mosley. But you don't know what your out-of-pocket is yet. We're going to do this. You wait until you get a statement as to what your insurance paid.
Okay.
Miss Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills. I can tell you both that you should be able to handle this without coming back to court and say, here are my bills, here are the checks that I was given from the insurance company, here are the outstanding bills, you cover them.
Okay.
If you can't do that, I'll dismiss your case without prejudice. You can come back to me with the bills and I will order her to pay that. Do you understand? So let's be perfectly clear. You're suing for $5,000. There is no way that I am going to award you punitive damages against Miss Mosley because there is no indication that she knew her son would be involved with that kind of physical activity on that day. Okay. I do, however, believe, as I indicated, that between the two of you, you should not have any out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay.
Your daughter wasn't too smart. She's not blameless in this thing. She stayed there. She participated in the frivolity, right?
Yes.
She did put her hands on him.
Yes.
So I don't believe that either one of these two kids entered that arena that day intending that she end up with a broken foot and all that surgery that was required to make her whole again.
Okay.
So do you want me to enter an order that, Miss Mosley, you will be responsible for any unreimbursed medical bills as they are presented to you?
Yes.
Good. That's all. We'll prepare an order that the defendant shall be responsible for any unreimbursed medical claims arising out of this incident of August of 2000. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are
Thank you.
excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a bartender, Terry Tucker, is suing 22-year-old student Becky Marquez for throwing a beer bottle at her car. Becky says Terry's story is a lie.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Hello? Thank you. Your Honor, this is case number 255 on the calendar in the matter of Tucker versus Marquez. How you doing, Judge?
Good. How are you, Bird?
Doing fine. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Tucker, your complaint is that the defendant, who is a total stranger to you, damaged your car in a parking lot of a bar.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this happen?
Saturday, September 2nd, after midnight, so it'd probably be Sunday, early morning.
How long had you been in the bar?
For about 45 minutes.
You drove?
Yes, ma'am.
Parked your car in the parking lot?
Yes.
What happened when you came outside?
Miss Marquez was coming across the street towards the club, and she had not made it to the curb yet, and she had asked if I had seen a Lorraine Marin. And I told her, no, I haven't, and I really don't give a about that girl.
Why would you answer that way?
Well, Your Honor, I was a little bit irritated that she came up to me because this girl has a bad reputation, and I was in a bad mood. Lorraine Marin.
Yeah.
And I was in a little bit bad mood, and I was a little bit rude to her. But I don't care for her. She has a really bad reputation in our community. And
you mean this Lorraine has a bad
Yes.
reputation, but you didn't know her at all?
No, I didn't.
You were in a bad mood?
Yeah.
So you were rude?
A little bit.
Okay. What happened next?
She stepped up onto the curb to the sidewalk and said, you have a really bad attitude.
Which you did?
Yes.
Okay.
And she says, obviously, you don't know who I am. And I told her, I really don't care who you are. And at that time, she kept coming forward to me, and I said, what are you going to do, beat me up? And she didn't say anything. And she proceeded to just stand about 4 feet away from me with her back up to the wall of the club entrance.
So she's standing with her back towards the club entrance.
At that point, I didn't want anything to deal with her. I did not want to fight with her. I just got in my car and left. She didn't say anything. She was really quiet. So when I was pulling out, I noticed her hands were in her jacket pocket, and she was just looking at me. She pulled out a bottle of beer and hurled it at my car. And it hit my window like about right here. And if it would have hit 4 inches down lower, this would have been a whole different case. She would have hit me in the head. I could have been blind. I could have, you know, been maimed for life.
Was your car window open or closed?
Yes, it was open all the way down, and there was glass all over me, and I was completely wet. I had a prior burn cooking, and it had opened up from the glass, and it was bleeding.
So what did you do?
I got out of my car. She was kind of just standing there. I think she had thought she had made her mark, but she didn't. And I went up to her, and I got her by the nape of the neck, and I held her down away from my body, and I told the patrons in the bar to call the cops. I'm putting her under citizen's arrest.
And somebody called the police?
Someone did call the police.
Police arrived?
The police did not arrive. She started to struggle and squirm, and she was saying, let me go, let me go. And I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable detaining her. So I let her go, and she darted off around the club and down some dark railroad tracks. And at that point, my friends urged me. I was bleeding, kind of a little bit stunned. So I went home, and I called the police. They said, I'm over here. Come and take a police report.
And did they?
Yes, they did.
How did you find out her name?
Because we live in a really small neighborhood. It's Niles, and we have a mutual friend that works at a pizza parlor in our town.
But you had never had any contact with her
I've never seen her before. But her family has a very...
I don't care about her family. I'd like to see the photographs that you seem to have, and I'd like to see the police report, please. Okay, and you actually saw the defendant pick up this bottle and hit your car with it?
I saw her put her hand in her coat and take it out of the coat and go like this.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Marquez, would you tell me your version of the events, please?
Yes, ma'am. On September 3rd, it was past midnight, I had been out with Lorraine. I somehow lost her because I don't go inside the bars. She had been sitting, playing pool, whatever she was doing inside the Derby, and I went back there to not pick her up, but to meet with her, and I didn't go inside the bar door was closed, and she was exiting the bar. Terry Tucker was exiting the bar. And I asked her, hey, is Lorraine in there? She said, I don't know who the Lorraine is, and I don't really care where she is. And I just stood there and I was like, man, you know, you got an attitude problem, lady. And she's all, I know I do, what are you gonna do about it? I wasn't exactly looking for a physical altercation with her. I just wanted to ask, I asked a simple yes or no question. She proceeded to just keep calling me all kinds. She called me a Mexican hussy, a chicken. She called me all kinds of like, and this was, I hadn't even spoken after this. I had just still asked a simple question. And see, I'm not accustomed to be spoken to this way, especially when I'm not, you know, doing anything to her. And I just stood there and I'm not gonna walk off. I proceeded to wait for her. And she just kept talking and talking and talking and calling me all kinds of names. She then got in her car, and then she turned it on, she reversed. I was still standing there, and she rolled down her window, and she's all, I told you you weren't going to do nothing, you chicken. Then I started saying something back to her, and I was like, you know, what do you want me to do, you know? I wasn't looking for any kind of problems with this lady. And she, after I started yelling, you know, back at her, because I wasn't yelling at her when I was standing there, she got out of her car, and she walks up to me, and she's all, watch this, you little... And she grabbed my hair, and I've never been tossed around like this, okay? She grabbed my hair, wrapped it around her wrist, got her nails into my scalp, and then said, you're, like, coming with me. And she walked me off to the side. At this point, I'm totally hunched over, I'm, like, in shock, going, oh, my God, you know, because I couldn't do anything about it. And she starts pounding on the bar door, and I'm, like, thinking it's funny right now because I'm like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. I just asked her, is Lorraine in there, you know? And they open the door and she walks in, and my head smacks the side of the door where the, you know, whatever. Okay. And then I started to taste blood, and I started, you know, I was bleeding, my eye was messed up, my gums were bleeding. I got scraped along the side of the door. And then I was like, I'm bleeding, let me go, you know, come on. And then when I heard she was calling the cops, yeah, I started to wiggle and swarm around. I was appalled. I couldn't believe that I'm getting my, you know, I started squirming, let me go, let me go, let me go.
And you finally got free?
Yeah, she let me go. There's no way I could have gotten free if she would only let me go.
Where did you go?
Walked home. I lived like 2 minutes from the place. And that's when I went home and I said, I'm bleeding. There's blood clotted at the bottom of my nostrils. And she opens the door and she's like, I'm like, you weren't at the bar, you know, where were you?
Listen to my question.
Huh?
So you got home. Did you call the police?
No.
You were just severely assaulted. Blood is all over your mouth. Blood is caking in your nose. You were assaulted by a perfect stranger. They're asking a simple question. When, for the first time, were you contacted by the police?
The next day, I was in the shower, and the doorbell rang. I then said, who is it? It says, Fremont Police, ma'am.
Okay, so it was the next day
that
you were contacted by the police in connection with the plaintiff's complaint of vandalism.
Yes.
Prior to this incident, have you ever been arrested?
What does that have to do with it? I know what it is. Yes, I have.
Speak not. I'm not speaking to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Terry Tucker is suing Becky Marquez for throwing a beer bottle at her car. Becky says Terry attacked her for no reason.
Okay. When was the last time you were arrested?
August 31st, 2000. Charges were dropped. No case.
What were you arrested for?
I don't care to discuss that. That's not what I'm here for.
Prior to the 31st of August, when were you arrested?
I don't see what that has to do with this. That's all fine. Yeah, I've been arrested more than once. That's fine. I have no problem admitting that. I don't care if I win or lose this. I am here to make a statement that I did not do anything at all to this perfect stranger. I asked her a question, and that is it. Regardless as to my record, that's nobody's business. Well, yours or hers or anybody's.
Are you currently, Miss Marquez, taking any medication?
Am I?
Yes.
No, I am not, ma'am.
Any prescription medication?
No, I am not, ma'am.
Any other kind of medication?
No, I am not, ma'am.
Okay. So now you're going to have my ruling. Ruling is based on common sense. Do you understand where I'm going?
Oh, yeah.
Bert and I have been together for a long time, Miss Marquez. Bert's got the same kind of nose that I do, right? What doesn't seem to fit, Miss Marquez, with regard to your statement is, common sense would dictate, madam, that if someone had just for absolutely no reason assaulted me, causing me to bleed in the mouth, have kicked up blood in my nostrils, pulled my hair, banged my head into a wall, the first thing that I would do when I made it home that couple of blocks is to pick up the phone, call the police, and say, this perfect stranger, who absolutely had a bad attitude, just assaulted me. This is where it happened. You did nothing. On the other hand, the plaintiff contacted the police immediately. The police responded. The police noted damage to the car. The police noted glass all over the car, totally consistent with someone throwing some sort of an object at the car. Common sense would dictate that when someone is the victim of a crime, in this case vandalism, they want the right person apprehended. They don't want the wrong person apprehended. They want the right person to be apprehended and to be punished, right? So there would be no reason that she would give your name as the person who threw the bottle at her car unless it was true. Let me see the estimates of the damage, please.
The last thing I'm going to do is bring to your attention that I've been arrested before, since it's all out in the open. Obviously, due to this, I am on certain court-ordered probation. The last thing I'm going to do is call the cops and bring them to me for any reason. I wasn't fatally injured. I was going to get over it. I took a shower, cleared up, had a bruise for a couple of days. The last thing I'm going to do is call the police, because when that happens, most of the time, they're not in my favor. I'm not going to call the police. They're not, it wasn't necessary.
You were the victim of an assault.
And I'm not going to call the police. I don't call the cops on nobody, especially not myself. The further away I stay from them, the better off I am. Period.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $758.
That's fine.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yeah.